Welcome, and this is round 3, season 7, IRC, and we are in China. And I felt like I was going to break out into song then, and that's a very bad idea on what is been an absolutely beautiful Thursday evening. And we are here in China. We are here in China. China, Shanghai. And this is going to be a cracker. I have no doubt about that. If there's anything to go by from last night as well, it was an absolutely phenomenal race last night, wasn't it? And unfortunately, I had to miss it last night, but it was a cracking race nonetheless. And I got to say that it was one of my favourite moments actually of that race was when Dave realised he had his mic muted, which really tickled me. But it was a brilliant race overall as well. Of course, we had the two Alfa Romeos doing synchronized spinning. I absolutely love that as well. It was a really good race. Jacob had a fantastic race, didn't he? Battled his way from 17th on the grid, I think he was, up to 4th driver of the day. Absolutely spectacular stuff indeed. And let me just quickly do my obligations before we get into this, as we quickly just share the stream. Make sure that guys from both Elite and Super can watch what is going to be a thrilling race. I've no doubt about it. We've just got the track map on in front of us right now. You can see 16 turns around here. It's been on the circuit. It's been on the calendar now since 2004. My goodness me, how time flies, isn't it, when you're having fun? Been on the calendar since 2004. Of course, Bahrain was also the other new race way back then. Of course, it was a dawn of a new era in Formula One, wasn't it? As going out to places like Bahrain and also China as well. And say that China's produced some absolutely epic races, hasn't it? First ever Red Bull win here back in 2009. It's not a win; it was a Red Bull 1-2 as well, with Vettel getting his second career win, with Mark Webber finishing second that day. I think that was the first time that season that Braun didn't win. Of course, that was an incredible season, wasn't it? 2009 was. You'll always remember that one for one. That it was like in terms of, if you were going to compare it to like football, it was like Leicester winning the Premier League, wasn't it? With Braun actually winning the championship that year. Yeah, it was really good to watch. I've got to say, it's one of the best seasons to really look back and watch on, and it was a really weird season in terms of cars, though, wasn't it? I've got to say, the rear wings looked really odd, didn't they? Anyway, enough about that and enough about yesteryear. As much as I do love my F1 history, we also love the here and now, don't we? And this is here and now. And we are almost set fair of what is going to be a fantastic race. Of course, then IRC has changed their logo slightly. It looks absolutely spectacular, doesn't it? Designed and created by Dave. It was brilliant. Well, designed and created, I think that's basically exactly the same thing, isn't it? Really, I think it is. But yeah, it's a cracking old logo, isn't it? It feels a bit historic, doesn't it? It feels gladiatorish, and that's what these gladiators are going to be doing tonight. And they're going to be battling around this historic race, aren't they? Going back to last time out in Super. Of course, it was Bahrain, wasn't it? Of course, Jewel in the Desert in Bahrain, and another good race win there for T. Sammy at the moment. He is 2 for 2, isn't he? And really looking fantastic as well. Of course, he hasn't got the full house yet, though. Of course, the fastest laps have actually been stolen off him by Roscoe and by Matt as well in Australia and Bahrain. So T. Sammy hasn't got the full house as such, but he's only two points away from that, as we are just about to get ready to get going. Let's just take a look at the driver's standing, shall we? And of course, as we said, T. Sammy is at the moment top of the tree, isn't he? 50 points. 20 points back at the moment is Dave. Dave has had a very good start to the season. Remember, he did have some trials and tribulations last time out in last season, I should say, in IRC, but of course he's doing a much better time this season, isn't he? Very good stuff indeed. Matt has moved himself over in the third position, and then Roscoe's dropped down to fourth after a difficult Bahrain Grand Prix. 28 points and 22 points respectively for Matt and Roscoe. Fizzy, of course, he had an incredible season last season, didn't he? And really this season, I hope he can build on that as well. He's up to 5th in the championship. Leclerc, of course, our figures reserve. I don't think he'll be returning, but he was an incredible driver, wasn't he? In Bahrain, Leclerc, he's 6th at the moment. Woody is 7th at the moment. He's dropped down to position. Sprint is 8th. We've got Double, once again, Mr. Consistent, Mr. Clean, as always, in 9th position. Double is. And 10th position is PB in the Williams then. So also in the Constructors, of course, the Constructors returned this season, hasn't it? Here in IRC. And in the Constructors, Toro Rosso basically ran away with it, haven't they, so far? 26 points is the gap at the moment between Toro Rosso and Red Bull. Red Bull has just moved up to second on 46 points. Then we've got Ferrari doing a very good job on 31 points. Haas is on 21 points, but Ferrari and Haas have dropped down one position from Australia. Alfa Romeo in 5th position, Mercedes in 6th. On 18 and 12 points, 2 points for Williams and Renault, 7th and 8th. McLaren and Racing Point haven't got off the mark yet, so hopefully they can do that today, and hopefully Timmy and JJ can do that today. And the same for Racing Point with Asdog and Stee. And I thought Asdog and Stee would be a phenomenal combination, but so far hasn't really proved fruitful as such. Then as we're going into qualifying now. Of course, remember last night we had a sprinkling of rain, didn't we, in qualifying, which really shook things up, didn't it? It was I do love a bit of rain in qualifying. It really does heighten the drama, doesn't it? Of course, we just don't want to come too early, so it kind of makes the session a bit anticlimactic. We're taking a look then. That's the beautiful banking of turn 13, I think it is. It's a spectacular turn. Then, of course, that's where the action's going to be, down into the hairpin there. It's going to be action packed, isn't it? Lovely, a shot of the media centre there as well. Of course, it's a lovely old track, isn't it? There's usually a lot of smog around here, though, is it? Especially on Friday practices. I always remember Crofty and Ted Kravitz usually talking about the smogs and what's hanging around the track, but. Yeah, I think that we ain't going to have no such luck today, are we? Anyway, so we're now getting into qualifying then, and this is going to be fruitful as well, as Lucas has joined as well. So Lucas just having a look to see what is going on, and it's I thought, to be honest, I got really excited then. I thought we had a bit of rain. 17 cars in this session then, as we take a look up and down the grid. Then he's I gotta say, T Sammy has been absolutely phenomenal, hasn't he, since making his debut. I think what's his stats at the moment? He's had in 3 races in IRC. He's won 2, hasn't he? Of course, he made his debut back in Bahrain last season, didn't he? And had an incredible battle with Matt, didn't he, in Bahrain? I really enjoyed that. But of course, then today, this season, I should say, he has been fantastic. As we got Darryl saying, "Come on, Steve lad." We've also got Johnny Cox going, "Hi Sean and Lucas, good evening. Go T Sammy." Yes, we've got a couple of the Greeks there who will get in behind T Sammy, and of course, say T Sammy is really lapping up the applause, isn't he, as such, because he has had an incredible start to the season. Sprint, I'd say that Sprint has had a really good start to the season as well. Remember, this is going to be his first full season this season. He made his debut halfway through last season, and he is, I think Sprint has really done impressive so far, hasn't he? Asdog is out on track at the moment. Remember, this stage last season, Asdog was dominating the pole positions. Unfortunately, this season, he hasn't got a pole position yet, has he? He's not started off the season that fruitful, Asdog, hasn't it? And I think that's my word of the day, fruitful. I've said that twice now already. Just watching it, I think Asdog is the first man out on track at the moment. Accelerates out of turn 6 now, and just floating up then. I gotta say then, I think that this track does produce some absolutely outstanding racing, and I do quite enjoy this track actually. It's really one of the more enjoyable tracks. It's very challenging, isn't it? It can be it's very technical around the second sector now, which is why Asdog is just applying his trade now. And you can see just warming up the tyres then on the Racing Point, formerly known as Force India. So I quickly get out the tyres information for you, and then going on to this bank corner now. Of course, I think that we were seeing that Mark Webber, friend of Mark Webber's car just fly up in the air there, didn't we? We also seen in the rain, Cartagena had a big old smash there in 2005. Talking of which, in 2005, that was a weird race, wasn't it? When I think Schumacher and Patrick Friesacker, wasn't it? On the formation, not the formation lap, it was like the installation lap. Even before they started the race, I love Asdog's new helmet, by the way. That's incredible. I do love it. I gotta say that helmet design is absolutely beautiful stuff from Asdog. I'm really enjoying that. So anyway, going back, Patrick Friesacker and Schumacher had a bit of an unusual incident, didn't they? I think before the race started, Friesacker just went into ploughing into the side of the Ferrari. Luckily back then, no, they had T cars. They don't have T cars anymore in Formula 1 to reduce the costs. Asdog is not even concerned about a T car at the moment. All he's concerned about is navigating turn 3 then. And you can see flicking up through the gears now then. Now the first part, the sector 1 ends at this part here. Then where does he brake? Look at that! Wow, that is incredible! It's just before the 50-meter board. Impressive stuff there from Asdog and these Formula 1 drivers. It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? It's now coming through the sweeping 7 and 8. Then if you get these corners right, it's a really good feeling, isn't it? Then we've got the double left-hander, I should say. And see how, look at that Asdog there. As neat as you like, very clean, and getting on the curve there a bit. And the car getting a bit squirrely. 52.3 in the second sector. Decent time there from Asdog. Now then is now as we're coming into the banked right-hander then. And you see, I gotta say that this corner, it feels like you've got to catapult off this corner, and you need to catapult off this corner as we go down the back straight now. Of course, it is. I always get confused here if whether it's 1.2 kilometers or 1.5. It's because I think Fiji had the longest straight, didn't they, with 1.5? I think it was, so it must be 1.2. But don't quote me on that because I could be completely wrong. I usually am, and yeah, so don't. So if fast comes up in a pub quiz, if ever would, yeah, don't bet your bottom dollar on that. Asdog goes 32.8 then in the first, as he's the first man to set a time here around China as he flicks it through turn one. Lovely shot here. That's a cracking shot. That is, I might watch the stream back later actually and try to take a screenshot. I might have an Asdog on the front of my phone. Here comes Fizzy, who goes second at the moment in the Alfa Romeo 33.1. Then Asdog is showing some impressive pace, or he was. But Timmy, of course, he's got a pole position to his name, hasn't he? Back in Canada, Sprint goes fifth fast, I should say. Here comes Snap then. Snap then is flown through, and he's done a 32.9. And he's getting some hot times already. Timmy in the McLaren, of course, and he and JJ has got to get the McLaren off the mark, hasn't he, today? If we want to start to really show some fight in the constructors. Here comes Woody. He's in the Haas and he is in fifth position. I've got to say, Haas had a very good strong start to the season. On board with Hogg, I got to say, Hogg in Bahrain was absolutely outstanding, wasn't he? His qualifying performance was incredible, wasn't it? I really, to be honest, he deserved a lot more than what he got then. Here comes Double coming across the line. Double goes 7th fastest. Going back to Hogg, yeah, Hogg. And look, if you go on the side there, that looks a bit like an old school Eddie Irvine helmet there. Hogg there. I think he's enjoyed the Ferrari this season, isn't he? Car 12. And really, I think Bahrain, he was incredible, wasn't he? So I can't say enough of how brilliant he was. He comes up to the line now, Hogg does, and he goes into 4th fast at the moment. Then on a 33 flat there for the Ferrari driver. Just taking a look, because Matt there is just in the Red Bull Car 40. He's a third in the championship at the moment. And, of course, it's such early stages, isn't it, at the moment? And, again, a lovely helmet. I'm not sure if I'm in helmet mode tonight or not, where I'm just noticing everyone's helmets. But, yeah, there's some pretty decent ones out there tonight. I love it. I think that China also offers a brilliant camera angles to show the helmet. Look how much the head is wobbling there, isn't it? As they fly through the Bantz corner, going down the back straight then. And you can see then the halo really obstructed the view now. Of course, before the halo, then you could absolutely see beautifully down that back straight. And now we got the halo in, and I got to say that the halo has probably, I would say, justified his insertion into Formula One. As much as to be honest, I don't really notice them anymore, to be fair. But yeah, I was one man who was against the halo, but yeah, I think it's justified its existence. Matt has done a 33.4 there. I think that might just be a banker, and we'll see what he can do from there. We're on board with Brown in the Williams then. And of course, Williams have only got 2 points in the constructors at the moment, so we need to, hopefully they can now start to get themselves going as we now start to get in the full flow in the season now. Everyone is just finding their feet still, of course, even though it's round 3 now. So this is where we're getting into the meat of the championship now. We've had 2 races. We've had the honeymoon period of season 7. Now it's going to get into the real thick of the action, isn't it? We've got Chris saying good luck over head Fizzy. We've also got Dave going evening or, and we've also got Broke Griller going evening Sean, and we've also got UK Fiddies of Dave Shaw for the win there. And I got to say, who can bet against David Munt? He's done incredible, hasn't he, this season? He's a completely changed driver this season compared to last season, where it was where there was it was very difficult, wasn't it? But of course that Monaco win was a highlight for Dave last season. But hopefully it could be a lot better for him this season. Brown has just set a 133.8 there from the Williams driver. On board with T Sammy, I got to say T Sammy is he's looking frightening, isn't he? He is looking absolutely. I could say he's gone into beast mode, hasn't he? Really, very impressive stuff from T Sammy on the opening 2 rounds. He's hoping for rain, isn't he? T Sammy is, and I got to say, at the moment there's a bit of cloud cover overhead, but nothing too threatening, is it? Around this Shanghai International Circuit. T Sammy is coming around the final turn now. Let's see what he can do. Turn 16. He's done incredibly well on the Urs. He's done incredibly well on the times as well. He's done a 32.3 there for the Toro Rosso driver. Beautiful. On board then with Harry at the moment. I've just seen that Harry has been is actually actually driving with manual gears tonight, so good luck to Harry. I got to say, that is an incredible feat in and of itself. I must admit, I struggle to drive with automatic gears, so that's really well done to Harry. And then I've got to say, that's pretty brave as well in the league race, isn't it? I gotta say, I would never try doing it in career, let alone in a league race. So yeah, let's see what Harry can do then as he flicks it through turn 16 then, and he's just putting it in a banker now. And I must say, actually, that's a very good time from Harry. That's an incredible time from the Renault driver. Remember, on manual gears as well. That is brilliant stuff there. Oh wow! Well, that was a very good time indeed. We're watching JJ then, who's just on an outlap at the moment, and just getting himself warmed up. Then JJ is in the McLaren. And so at the moment then, we are in Q1. Of course, then we have 18 minutes in this qualifying session. We're 10 minutes old in Q1, and so far we got JJ, PB, Dave Shaw, Steve and Roscoe, who all haven't set a time yet. We're aiming to lose 2 drivers in this first qualifying session, and so we're aiming to line up 16th and 17th positions then on the grid then. It'd be see then. It'd be really interesting to see who actually gets knocked out here, because who knows? Because I gotta say that it's going to be a shock. Whoever gets knocked out in this qualifying session, it's going to be an absolutely it's going to be incredible, isn't it? And so unfortunately, someone's going to have to take the walk of shame, so to speak, isn't he? Brown there is still attacking the track there. He's run out of Verso, isn't he? You can see he's still on 5. I think he's going to have to, yeah, he's run out there. Matt there is also, I think he's doing a couple more laps there, so he's just going to see what the track is like out there in the Red Bull then. Of course, the track is very green at the moment, and of course, well, I don't mean the colour, because there's not green, is it there? Of course, the outside's green with grass, but it's a bit of a grey colour. But no, we mean green as in there's not much grip out there. The more the cars go around, the more they put Pirelli rubber down, which means that the cars will get quicker. They will have Pirelli rubber, likes Pirelli rubber, don't they? So it gets a bit more sticky, the track doesn't the tarmac, and then you get more purchase out of get more grip, don't you? You get more confidence, and it's just a snowball effect, isn't it? Matt then coming around the bank corner now, and you can see his fuel light is flashing out there. The Red Bull driver is, as he's going through the banked turn. We'll keep an eye on Matt's progress, but let's take a look at Roscoe's progress. He's done a 22 in the first 24 in the first sector. I think JJ is in the second sector now, so we'll stay with Roscoe then, the Scotsman. And now then as he comes through at 13 then. So Roscoe at the moment, he's had a podium so far this season, and he's had a 7th place, I believe, finish. I've got it right in front of me and I still struggle. Yeah, so DRS then down the back straight, and so we're on board Roscoe. Remember, he had a very unusual problem in the Bahrain, didn't he? He got a grid penalty for some sort of shenanigans. We don't really know what the shenanigans were, but he did a very good. I think he did a very good strategy call and have 2 stops there in Bahrain, and really did have had some electric pace, didn't he, throughout that? Let's see what pace he's got here tonight. He's got some cracking pace, Roscoe has. He's third position mode behind his teammate and Timmy at the moment. Timmy looking very fruitful up there, isn't he? He's definitely one to watch out. Here comes Steve coming down the back straight. What about JJ? JJ's already finished the back straight. He's coming through. He's got one more corner to go. It is turn 16. It's a right angle left-hander. Oh, he's got off the track. He's got onto the AstroTurf there. DRS enabled, and JJ has done a 14 there. PB is out on track about. Steve goes fast as him on a 31.8. My goodness me. I gotta say, he's got the fast cars, that has, hasn't he? Steve has. That's incredible stuff. He's really nailed that lap. Dave was just starting that. PB is on that lap at the moment. JJ there just got out of the way there. PB is wrestling that car. He's almost on no man's land there. PB is saving the car at the last minute, doing a cracking job actually, because when you get out there, that's usually kind of it really. Carter Kane's found out that to his cost. And we've had a couple of other drivers had a big old smash there as well. So we're just on board then with PB going down the back straight now, as we just got Eric, we just got Fizzy saying UK Phillies is Dave Shaw. He's his only fan is himself. Oh, that's harsh. So it's PB that comes through the final turn. Then what does he do? He's had a 33 there for PB in the Williams, and we got Daryl's getting very happy with Steve at the moment. He is fast at the moment, and of course we are all happy for Steve in the Racing Point. I think the Racing Point guys are going to be happy as well, because Racing Point haven't got to the better start. I think the Racing Point, Toro Rosso has probably got the strongest driver lineup, I would say. No disrespect to anyone else, but I think that the Racing Point does definitely have the second best driver lineup. if you go on the form book of last year, but I gotta say though, you got some very interesting lineups, haven't you? Both in Elite and in Super, we got some cracking driver lineups for this season. It's really I think the draw has been absolutely made to perfection, hasn't it? The driver draw. It's to be honest, if you want to actually select actually just pick drivers selection on teammates, I think that they've done it was an absolutely spot on job. Dave has done a 33.5 at the moment for the Ferrari. He might need to go again, I think, because he might be feeling a bit vulnerable down there in 14th position. And as JJ they're just coming into the pits, not really breaking any speed barriers as he comes into the pits as well. As the infamous pit entry there, which really hurts me. Of course, being a big old Lewis Hamilton fanboy back in my youth, I remember that pit entry quite well. Not very fondly either, unfortunately. Still haunts me to this day. Doesn't haunt Fizzy though, does it? Oh, look at that! Oh, that might have he got on the power a bit earlier. He was half a second up in the second sector, the Alfa Romeo driver, and he's coming through the bank to right-hander then, and now down the back straight. We got two DRS zones around China, of course, on the back straight here, and we got yellow flags floating around in sector 2 as well, and we've also got a DRS on the start-finish straight as well. So you've got to say you've got to be brave going into certain one, but all these guys are brave, so expect a lot of overtaking around here. Also, in terms of strategy, I got to say strategy could be up in the air. Last night, then we had some incredible strategy. As Fizzy goes down to a 32-1 there. Steve is still the only man in the 31s there. I got to say that's incredible pace there from Steve. Really good stuff there from the racing point driver. Dave there just on an in lap, I believe it is. We're back on board. Brown at the moment says both Williamses are languishing near the bottom of the timesheets at the moment. Brown 13th, PB in 15th position. Double and JJ are the two men that is sitting a bit nervous at the moment. Double is back on track now on a 34-1, a 34-4 for JJ. Who else is going to struggle at the moment? PB needs to improve his time. There's some big old gaps down the bottom there, so not everyone I think has posted their best time yet. What about Brown? This is his second attempt now then. DRS right on the second down then, so he's covered. Sorry, he's got to go back around again then as he flies into turn 1 as this is a very frustrating. Oh, he's got, that's a lot of oversteer there, isn't it? I think it was a bit of understeer then. It's very frustrating turn 1 is, and then it tightens up in turn 2, isn't it? Turn 1 and 2 are basically exactly the same corner, really, isn't it? And as he comes down into turn 6, one of my most favourite overtaking manoeuvres of all time is Ricardo when he sends it down the inside of Bottas, I think. 2018 was it? Well, I think it was. I think it's the last time one of the last races he drove for Red Bull. Yeah, 2018. As we're just taking a look at we got a couple of fans, of course, out in force there for T Sammy. It's a T Sammy army out there, is it? I got to say, you guys do make my night, don't you? It's brilliant in Elite there, of course. We got BP fans, we have the Greek drivers, we have the Greek fans. It's absolutely fantastic. We have the Dutch fans as well for Dutch Dave, and of course it's also started to really heat up in Super as well. It's great to have you guys really commenting and showing your love for your favourite drivers. Of course, we got Steve, we got love for Steve, we got love for Dave, we got love for T Sammy, and everyone else there. As a hog, a Brown there just coming down into turn 14, no 13. Oh, he's gone on to the AstroTurf there, Brown has, and it looks like he just didn't turn the steering wheel there, did he? He doesn't want to scrub too much speed off the car, does he? This is and the Brown there is second off, and he's getting a bit frustrated out there. I think Brown this is his last chance there for the Williams driver. Double has moved up into 12th position. Cracking job there from Double. Car 97. He has come back with incredible resilience, hasn't he? Incredible. No, it's not resilience, is it? What is it? Rejuvenation. I think that's the word. I might have made it up. PB is out of qualified. Unfortunately, the Williams driver then is in the pits, and Dave is out. It's on an outlap at the moment, but JJ needs to improve. What is the target time he's looking for? He needs to get into at least a 33.5. That goal post is going to move as well. So because I think that Dave might get something a bit. Get some I think he will improve his time there. Is that JJ is really struggling there, isn't he? The car is just refusing to turn out there at the moment. Look at that, he's on the AstroTurf there. This is a bit of a scrappy lap there from JJ. I wonder if it's a bit of frustration. Dave didn't make the line, I don't think. Oh no, and Dave is also off the track as well. But we'll leave that there for a minute. JJ 3 tenths of a second up. This is a bit scrappy there. I feel that JJ can go a lot quicker than this as well, because if he's the car is just not wanting to do what JJ wants, does it? Does he? His DR's right on the money there. JJ is coming down the back straight. Then the McLaren drivers, can he get a 33.5 from this time? It might be a bit too much of a big ask for JJ, but let's find out. Then braking beautifully well, accelerating away. There's one more corner to go. Then look at the time at the top right hand side. Then it is counting down. I don't think he's done it. He flicks it into turn. Oh, was it? This is a much better time for JJ. No, not quite. He gained almost half a second there, JJ. Unfortunately, though, it wasn't enough. I think when we joined him, it was a bit scrappy, wasn't it, in the second sector there for JJ. So I feel that if JJ can if JJ was able to hook a lap up, he definitely would have been. I think he definitely would have been into Q2 there. That's unfortunate as well. Maybe a lucky escape there from Dave Shaw, of course, second in the championship at the moment, but he was down in 15th. So hopefully he'll have a much better Q2. And of course, Q2 is coming up in just a few moments then, as the action there has just decided to calm itself down then, as we get ready for qualifying 2 then. As I'm really sorry, guys. I struggle with I do struggle with my names. Valera says said that T Sammy fan club here, absolutely great stuff, and also said greetings to the best commentator around. Oh, thanks for that. But I think Dave's in the Ferrari at the moment, and I'm not sure if he'd be too happy with that 15th position at the moment. We've also got Todd going Steve for the win there. So Todd, of course, you fan of the channel, straight in there with his predictions, and he's already gone for Steve there for the win. And more often than not, Todd's usually right. So if you want to go and get a lottery ticket, ask Todd. We've also got Pabelas there saying, let's go T Sammy GFO. Great stuff. Anyway, so unfortunately we lost JJ there. He didn't get out of the 34s in the end, which is unfortunate. And we've also got PB, who also got knocked out of qualifying 1. But this race really qualified as we seen last night. Remember, the 7th man who started 7th on the grid last night, Jacob. Well, he didn't care about qualifying too much, did he? He flew through the field. He flew up into 4th position in the end. Absolutely cracking strategy. So keep an eye on those two. This track, qualifying is still important. Don't get us wrong, but I feel that it's not the be all and end all. No, you could say that a lot about any league race, can you really? The points are rewarded on a race day, aren't they? Not in qualifying. It's still good to have a good qualifying position. But it's not over until it's over, is it? Right, we're 15 seconds into qualifying 2. That's 15 minutes for qualifying 2. And as you notice on the tower on the left-hand side, we've got a lot of strategy calls already going on. Of course, then let's just take a quick, let's just have a quick overview of the tires that rule, shall we? Of course, we've got soft, medium, and hard. Red is soft, yellow is medium, and white is hard. If you qualify in the top 10, you must start on the tire which you set your fastest time on. And you can see then that is why we've got a lot of tyre strategies out there at the moment. We've got Asdog, who's on the medium compound tyre. We've got T Sammy going on the soft compound tyres, attacking right from the get-go. Matt is on the medium tyre. We've got Brown on the medium tyre. We've got Snap, who's going on the hard tyres. I noticed that Snap usually goes on the hard tyre on the is opening a couple of runs there, really to get the feel of those hard tyres. I reckon it's more of a race simulation for Snap, isn't it? Of course, a veteran in his own right as well. We've also got Timmy there, who's out on track mode. Of course, he missed Bahrain, and in Australia he let's just say he was a bit of a naughty boy, wasn't he? He said it so himself, as he had a bit of a scrappy old race, didn't he, in Australia, and also took out Matt at the pit entrance as well. But of course, Timmy, a very good driver in his own right. He's a very good driver, isn't he? Timmy is fantastic pole position in Canada, and also I think it is a debut race. I think it was in Azerbaijan. No, I think his debut was here, wasn't it? But his race in Azerbaijan was absolutely phenomenal, wasn't it, last season? Really good job indeed from Timmy. So definitely don't count this one out just because he had a bad race. Of course, everyone has a bad race. Even the great Lewis Hamilton has had a couple of bad races, hasn't he? Just remember 2011. That was a bit of a shocker, wasn't it, for Hamilton? On board with Asdog then. So once again, then Asdog might give us the absolute privilege of going around Shanghai with him once again. Then, as I said, that I think that this weekend, I'm wondering, or this week, this is where Asdog is going to hopefully start his championship challenge. The same with Steve as well. I think that this is what's been an absolute cracking about this season 7, isn't it? And we was talking about in the season previews, wasn't we, in pre-season, about who is going to be the season 7 champion. Of course, last season we had three runaway drivers, and not that bad. Of course, the season 6 champion of Super, and we had Jonathan Cox as well, who of course was a phenomenal qualifier last year. Are we going to get the same this year? We're going to have a man who's absolutely incredible in qualifying. It's very difficult. It's a skill in its own right, isn't it? And also we had Ari Race, who joined from Azerbaijan onwards, and he really got his teeth stuck into IRC. I think it was around Canada, wasn't it? Canada, France, I think, was when the first race where he really showed some incredible pace, and he's looking very good in the Elite League as well, as is Jonathan. I think not that bad. He's had a bit of a difficult time so far in Elite, but I have no doubt that not that bad. He's a quality driver in of his own right, isn't he? So he'll be fine. I have no doubt about that. He just he just needs to settle the boat down, doesn't he? Calmly get a good race under his belt, and then after that it all just comes. It's all about momentum. It's that magic word, momentum, and confidence as well. Just when you have confidence, it just comes easy, doesn't it? It comes naturally. And I think at the moment that is exactly what's happening for T. Sammy. Brown has gone fast. He's on a 33.5 there for the Williams driver. Of course, I would say Brown, another man who I think has done pretty well this season. Timmy has gone second on a 33.1 there. I apologise, I missed some of those guys. I thought Asdog was out first. Asdog is second at the moment there in the racing point. We've got a Red Bull there just coming over the line now. It is Matt on a 33.3 there. Lovely stuff there from Matt. We got Woody, who is in the Haas there, 33.7 there. Look at these times. These times are very, very close indeed, and it's a whisker. What can you do in 6/10 of a second? Not a lot. I don't do a lot in 30 minutes, let alone 6/10 of a second. Snapper goes onto a 36.3 at the moment on the hard compound tyre, and yeah, of course, he will be getting quicker and quicker, because he's probably also full of fuel as well. Harry there, I got to say, I think Harry's doing an incredible job. He really is. He's on the hard compound tyre, like his teammates. So both Renault drivers have gone for the hard choice at the moment, and Harry is on a 35.3 at the moment in the hard compound tyre. We just seen someone dart into the pits. Then Sprint there comes up to 6 at the moment on a 34.1 at the moment. I got to say, because the Super guys do a fantasy league, don't they? Where the drivers choose who's their driver pick is, and to do well this tonight. Well, unfortunately, Sprint's my pick, so no pressure, Sprint. So I'm going to be a bit biased tonight. So I got to say, I think Sprint's done an incredible start to the season. Honestly, very unlucky at Australia. He really was. He was in 4th position, wasn't he? Just went a bit of ride. That's just shows, doesn't it, how qualifying the race can just differ so incredibly, can it? On board with Dave then in the Ferrari as he drops down into turn 3 then. Look at that, then you can see hugging. Oh, look at that, very lovely bit of wheel spin there from Dave, and he's going over the grass then at the moment. Bit of a Colin McRae lap here from Dave then. I think he's just entertaining us as we get ready for the race, which is coming up fairly soon as well. At the moment, 8 cars have set a time so far in the Chinese Grand Prix Q2. We are still waiting for as that Snap is going quicker, as you can see. Look at this, and Snap then is really starting to put the power down now as he drifts a bit wide. There's a Ferrari of Hogg, I think it is. I think Hogg's just come out of the pits. Harry is cruising on the back straight then. So we have got at the moment Hogg, Fizzy, Dave Shaw, T. Sammy, Steve, Roscoe, and Double all haven't set times yet. So yeah, they're not. So they're not too worried about going out yet, is it? But the time is your enemy on this one, isn't it? You need to start to really yeah, you cannot sit in the pit lane forever, can you? Dave, I think, is just on an outlap mode, but T Sabby is not, and he is coming into turn 6 now. Look at that, just before the 50-meter board. That's incredible, isn't it? The power of these cars and the braking power on these cars is absolutely phenomenal, isn't it? Even in the hybrid area as well, which is probably not the traditional Formula 1 fan most favourite of eras, is it? Of course, a lot of the old guys do love the V10s, the V12s. I've got to say my favourite era is definitely the V10 era. Those cars sound absolutely cracking, wasn't it? Just to listen to the McLaren Mercedes V10 back in 2000 and 2001. That incredible, distinct engine though was absolutely beautiful. It really was. My it was one of my most favourite sounds ever. It was brilliant to watch, wasn't it? I must well just actually see the clip of the French Grand Prix in 2000, which actually reminded me about those incredible engine noises as well, didn't they? Of course, Schumacher and Coulthard had a good old scrap there, didn't they? Of course, Coulthard also was teaching me some new hand gestures, as I was a very innocent young man back then. T. Sammy then is coming out of the hairpin now. He has got turn 16 to go now. Let's just see. He flicks it in, and DRS is coming out now. I've got to say, T. Sammy is actually phenomenal on this corner, on this circuit with the ERS management. Look at that. He had enough deployment for the final turn there. So I'd say T. Sammy has really done a very good job actually on managing those, managing the ERS. Of course, then ERS said in Bahrain is a very hungry, very hungry, isn't it? Here I think it's very similar because we've got a long old back straight, and we were on the throttle for a lot of time around here. And as you can see, we're on board with Hog now, and you can see there's a lightning bolt down in the right hand side, and it is down to 63. Look at that. He's tickling the 63, 64 marker, isn't he? When he brakes, it harvests more, doesn't it? That's the beauty about this. Electric recovery system. Of course, this is the future, isn't it? Of course, I think all sports now, all motorsports has a hybrid of some form or another, don't they? Of course, in sports car, the WEC, isn't it? Where they have hybrid as well. It's incredible technology, isn't it? It really is, yeah, I still love a good V10. Hog there is coming down the back straight. I don't think he's even remotely interested in any V10s or anything that I'm talking about right now. All he's interested in is trying to nail this, trying to nail the breaking point. He does. Look at that. That was the 100-meter board. Just after the 100-meter board, Hog break there. Incredible, isn't it? And it's incredible how these guys just nail the breaking points time after time again. They got to do it for 28 laps coming up later on. And let's see what Hog does. He puts in a banker here. It's more than a diesel. It's more than a banker, isn't it? The free there. He's going straight to the soft compound tire, Hog has. So he's not messing around. 6 minutes to go in this session. And we still got a lot of drivers there who hasn't set a time. Double is on the banked corner. We got Fizzy, who's well past that. He is down the back straight, Fizzy is. And you can see there is Double in the background. The DRS shuts down, then the rear wing shuts in. Of course, of course you want the rear wing shut for. It's Fizzy there, run out of road there, and taking a bit of the grass with him. Then comes around the final turn. Then Fizzy does. Let's see what he does. He's also done a very good job on the earth side, and he's gone fastest on a 3-3-0 there. Good job there from Fizzy. He's looking up for it tonight. Double. Let's see what Double can do. Then you can see a bit of a dip there going into the final, onto the finish straight, and he goes 6 fastest there. Double does. What about Steve then? Steve at the moment there was lined up the time sheets in Q1. What about Q2? He's done it again. It's 32.9 there for Steve on the medium compound tire. The gap is getting smaller and smaller, but his rivals are catching up. But I gotta say, Steve once again showing some incredible pace in that racing point, isn't he? I would say that Steve has arrived then this season. At the moment he hasn't got any points, has he, Steve, so far? Of course, he only started one race in Australia. He didn't start in Bahrain, but he's come back with a vengeance here tonight, isn't he? Here comes Roscoe in the Toro Rosso. He is 2 for 2 in terms of the point scoring this season. And Toro Rosso, I've got to say, are long gone in the constructors. We're only on round 3, remember? That can change quite easily, can it? And Roscoe then is just done a 24-4 in the first sector there for the Toro Rosso. We've got Mercedes there. I think that sprint there just, this sprint he's on the only Mercedes in the session tonight. Just getting out of the way then as now Roscoe flicking it through then the middle sector here. And we're now just coming up into once again the double left-hander here. You can see, unless the second left-hander much easier than the first, and you could get the power a lot better, isn't it? It's not a frustrating turn. 52.5 for Roscoe then. And now then, let's see. I've got to say, I love running on board these cars. It's absolutely incredible stuff, isn't it? Really showed me a thing or two, and also showed me what I don't race anymore. Now coming down the back straight, then we've got Steve coming out of the way. We've got Fizzy coming out of the way. So those two are the front two at the moment. There, that is the aim for Roscoe. Roscoe. He would like to be in front of both of those guys in the timesheets. Let's see what he can do then. He breaks now just before the 100-meter board. Incredible stuff, Ben. You can see them. Oh, he's very close there. Corner cutting around. I got to say, the corner cutting around here is the drivers have been well behaved last night, weren't they? They were very well behaved. Oh, Roscoe's going a bit wide there. DRS enabled it. Let's see what it is. And it's fastest for Roscoe on a 20 what? On a 32.8 there for the Toro Rosso driver. Good stuff indeed. Dave is in the pits then. We've only 3 minutes to go then. Dave might have to think about making a move in a minute. Sprint has made a move in car 93 in the Mercedes as he flies through turn 1 and 2 now then. And you can see that getting more tighter and tighter as he goes around then. Dipping down into 2 and 3 then. And the car trying to run out wide there as they sprint having to just get out of it slightly then. But yellow flag in 1. That's... and I think that is for Roscoe, as he's just going on the alternative route then around here. I think there's more of a tighter angle, isn't there? Get on the way nicer there, Roscoe. That's an art in and of itself, isn't it, to get out of the way, because you don't really want to dilly-dally on the racing line, do you? As we've seen so many times in the past, it's really not ideal, is it? So very well done to all these drivers there, really making sure that their awareness is up and right up there, and that's good. And Sprint there, so he's 2800 a second down in the second sector. I wonder if Sprint there, he's got a lot of deployment left in the yours, so he's now going to turn it up then to the max then. Let's see what Sprint can do. Lovely shot here of the rear wing then. Oh, and look at that, almost off the track there. Very well done then. DRS enabled. Now look at that, the beautiful shot of the rear wing then, and you can see then the gap bit opens up. That means that the car will go faster and faster. It's not like an instant boost, is it? Like it's not an instant boost like back when they had the curves and they just pushed the button. It's more of a hand there, just pushing the car, going slightly forward there. And now then, it's Sprint now coming into the final turn then. Let's see what he can do then. Lovely shot again. I've got to say, the facilities around here is absolutely beautiful. Sprint there is not concerned about that. He's more concerned about getting into Q3 at the moment. He's at 300 a second off Woody at the moment. He's going to have to go again. He can go again, but does he have the deployment? T. Sammy is in all world of trouble at the moment. He's in 12th position with 1 minute to go. He can go again then. And Snap is also trying to run. Dave is on that left route. Let's just take a look at T. Sammy, the championship leader in the moment. He's got 2 for 2 in terms of wins. He hasn't had a pole position yet. T. Sammy, I don't believe I am wrong. He does have a pole position. T. Sammy comes across the line. He goes 5th fastest in the Toro Rosso, and he's done a 33.2 at the moment. I gotta say, it's more of a level playing field here, isn't it? I'm liking this. Here comes Matt then. He's a 10th for a second up then, and you can see that he didn't improve there. He's 200 down. And T. Sammy has retired from the session. There's a Ferrari in the background. That's Dave just starting a lap now. Double is in the pits end. Brown is out. Woody is out of qualified. Unfortunately, he's still in the pits. He won't be able to get round unless he finds an almighty shortcut. So unfortunately for Woody, he is out of qualified. Brown has just started us out. We got Sprint, who's 200. Look at that. He is a thousandth of a second quicker than he was last time. Sprint has really got it as he's coming down the back straight. Where's Harry? Harry is coming through the final turn now. Here comes the red driver. Lovely shot of the steering wheel here. And you can see that yellow bar then. Look, his thumbs is just deploying, and he is I think he's going for a lap again then. Harry is Sprint coming down the back straight as well. We've who else? We got Sprint. Oh no, yeah, we got Snap coming down the back straight. We've also got Sprint coming down the back straight as well. Lovely shot again. Oh wow! And now he fly. And what's he going to do then? Here's Sprint. Oh no, the Sprint's done. He is done. He's out of qualified. Woody and Sprint are the first to go. Then Snap comes across the line. He is out. So he's only 13th position. Then Harry is 2/10 to a second up in the first sector. Then we've got Dave coming down the it's coming down the back straight now. We got Matt who's 9 seconds off. Matt is done as well. Hog is done. Double is still in there at the moment then. So we got Harry and Dave. These are the final 2 men. Who is going to make it through into qualifying 3 then, which is coming up imminently. I shouldn't really use big words, should I? Now breaking down and dropping down into 40 miles an hour, accelerating away out of turn 13 now. Here he is then. Turn 14. Here he is now then, coming through turn 16. Deployment is done for the Ferrari. Is it enough? Is it enough? Is it? Yes, it is. Dave is through and into Q3 as it stands. What about Harry? Harry is 8/10 of a second up as they come into the final. This is it then. It's all enough. It's between Hog and Harry. Who is going to get into Q3? This is very tense indeed. Harry's on the medium compound tire. Hog was on the soft. Remember, we have to start the race if you qualify in the top 10. And everyone has really nailed their colours to the mask here, haven't they? Everyone's on the yellow marked tires apart from Brown, who's on the soft. And Harry coming for the final turn now. Is it enough? I think it is. No, it is. it ended up, he gained 8 tenths of a second now, but Harry is out of qualifying. So, Hogg breathes a huge sigh of relief and is through into qualifying 3 then. Oh, and incredible stuff that was, isn't it? So we have lost, unfortunately, we have lost Double, who just missed out on Q3 by less than a tenth of a second in the harsh driver is then. Of course, we lost both Renos as well, unfortunately. We've also lost Sprint as well. Sprint was really on the edge of amnesia there, on the edge there of his limits. And unfortunately Sprint didn't get through, nor did Woody either. So both Haas's, both Renault's out, and also got Mercedes out there as well. Into qualifying 3 then is Roscoe, Steve, Brown, Fizzy, Timmy, T. Sammy, Asdog, Matt, Dave and Hogg. Soft tyres for both Hogg and Brown then, so watch them fly off the grid in when the race gets going. Everyone else is on the medium compound tyre then, so is it going to be a one stop to the end? Well, possibly, but I don't think the race is never ever straightforward like that, is it? As I just wet my whistle and we're getting ready for Q3 then, and I gotta say this is really, really interesting. So who is going to get pole position? Who is your favourite for pole position? Who do you think has shown the stuff here tonight? As now those are our 10 drivers then getting ready to battle once again around this Shanghai International Circuit. We've got just over 12 minutes then to decide on who is going to be on pole position. I got to say, Steve is looking very strong at the moment, isn't he? But oh, I shouldn't have said that. I should really just not say anything at all about who's the favourite or not. I'll leave it to you. I'll leave it to you guys, the experts, in the comments, and who do you think is going to be on pole position. But I gotta say, any one of these 10 drivers could definitely get on pole position. You can see then it's all peaceful and quiet in the pit lane, or it was peaceful and quiet. But I think that we have got Timmy, who has really decided to disrupt the peace, hasn't he? And he is out on track already in the McLaren then, and he comes out now then, and he flies it into turn 1 then, car 81 in the McLaren. Of course, Timmy did drive the Mercedes last season, didn't he? So I gotta say, I quite enjoy driving the McLaren. It just feels a bit more nimble, doesn't it? And I hope let's see what Timmy can do. As you can see, he's weaving backwards and forwards. He's not having fun. He's just trying to get those tyres into the right temperature. Of course, tyres are a big factor in Formula 1 these days. Of course, it's the 4 contact patches to the ground, so they have to be important, I suppose. But it's also a bit of a voodoo magic, isn't it, about the tyres, isn't it, in this Pirelli era, as we're on board Timmy then, of course, with the Alan Prost helmet. I gotta say, when I was in Australia, I did thought it was a David Coulthard helmet. I got really excited about that. But yes, it is the helmet of Alan Prost. I would like to see more classic helmets in there. It'd be great to have like David Coulthard's helmet, or Martin Brundle's helmet, for example. Maybe even Damon Hill's beautiful crash helmet as well. Of course, the dark blue with the white. White squares on the top there. I can't remember. Yeah, it's a design of something. I can't remember what it is. I'm just going to bit. Oh no! Davis just informed me that Hogg's AI has binned it. That is a massive shame there for the Ferrari. That is really unfair. That is, of course. If you bin it on your own, then that's fair enough. But when Codemasters decides to, when Codemasters realises they can't drive either, artificial intelligence, that's just really unfair for Hogg then. And of course, that is massive shame for the Ferrari driver. So down to 9 cars. We should be on 10. We're on board Timmy at the moment. So look at that, the car just understeering out wide there, isn't it? The McLaren just refusing to turn. Yeah, so that's a shame there for Hogg, isn't it? Really, we've been robbed of an absolutely incredible top 10 shootout here. So. That's a big old shame it is. Just watching Timmy then as he's coming down into turn 6 then, accelerating away. And he's on board for him in turn. What was it? That McLaren just refusing the turn, wasn't it? But Timmy there resting the car there, manhandling that car. He wants to get it. He wants to get it on the right parts of the track, and he's doing so indeed. Then, but does the time replicate what he's doing on track? Then that is the question. Then he is in the middle part of the circuit now. Then. Coming down then into, this is the end of sector 2, and that's a very good time. It's a 51.8 there for the McLaren driver, isn't it? Again, lovely over the shoulder shot here. Of course, Timmy had a pole position before. Yellow flags and free. It's just guys, it's down the back straight there, isn't he? They're just trying to get themselves out of the way. This is a fairly long road circuit, isn't it? Of course, the lap times around here is 32s, 31, 32s, isn't it? But somehow they still find each other. They still decide to, well, they want the same part of the track, don't they? So, and of course they do. It's because the track is going to be in absolutely pristine condition by the end of this qualifying session. Timmy there is just going to put in a fast lap. Now, this is his first attempt in Q3, and that is a good time. There's a 32.0 there for Timmy then. So just outside the 31 moment. I think pole position will be in the 31, so Timmy might have to find a bit of time. As long as the 32.3 there for the Racing Point driver. Good stuff. Fizzy in the first sector as well. But T Sammy has got a 32.2 then in the Toro Rosso then. Cool. So T Sammy had a pole position in Bahrain. He's not really shown the pace so far, but he's still got 7 minutes to do. Steve has shown the pace. He is on pole position by half a second. My goodness me. Wow, I gotta say, he's got an extra gear in that Racing Point, hasn't he? He is really flying in the Pink Panther today. That is, I think Steve, since the get-go, has really been on it, hasn't it? Really on it like a car bonnet. Impressive stuff there from Steve. Brown is gone 5th fastest on a 33.3 there. So Brown there is in 5th position. I think he might be a bit disappointed with that one, possibly. So Dave is down the back straight, so is Matt as well then. I think... is now accelerated away then. I think Brown could possibly gain a couple of more tenths there at the Williams there. Dave, what can Dave do? This is his first time around. You see he's run out of errors already then, so that might... he's done a 32.2 there from Dave has in the Ferrari. What about Matt then? So David's done a 32.2 then, just 2 seconds off, but Matt has got on, he's slotted between Timmy and Dave then on a 32.1 there. We've also got Fizzy going into 6th position then in the Alfa Romeo, and Roscoe is back in the pits mode. Of course, so Roscoe, usually a man who quite enjoys the pit lane. Now I think he must have nice mechanics, as he's not really out there he's not really out there too often. Roscoe isn't he? But I gotta say, he's very much Sebastian Vettel-esque, isn't he? When Vettel back in the early 2000s, 2010s, wasn't it? Really only did 1 or 2 laps, didn't he? He was usually he was in the pits when qualifying finished. So Roscoe, really showing some really good 1 lap pace there. So it's the first round of times have been posted. Let's take a look, shall we, at the standings. Steve is on pole position then for the Racing Point. Of course, Racing Point now had a very good start in the Constructors, but this season both Racing Points have been a bit disappointed. But my goodness me, they've really showed up here in Shanghai, haven't they? Timmy is alongside him on row 1. That's a fantastic row 1, isn't it? Alongside on the second row of the grid then is Matt and Dave, 2nd and 3rd then. It's T Sammy is 5th, the championship leader, the 2 for 2 at the moment for wins for T Sammy. But at the moment then he is languishing down 5th position. Fizzy in 6th. Asdog 7th with Brown in 8th position. We got Hogg and Roscoe are 9th and 10th. Haven't set any times as of yet. And we've now got a bit of a lull at the moment as we're just watching the cars come back in the pit zone. Just Matt on the back straight, Dave on the back straight as well. Fizzy also on the back straight. And now then, what are they doing at the moment then? What are the drivers doing then? I wonder if they're visualising the perfect lap then. They're thinking about it. Of course, remember the cars are in park firm right now. You can't tinker with the car setup anymore. All you could do now is change the tyres then. And of course, you get an extra set of tyres, don't you, for Q3 to encourage more people to come out of the pits then. Remember, of course, I think they introduced that rule a couple of years ago when we just had basically run one run, and a couple of guys didn't. A couple of midfield runners who sneaked into Q3. I think Force India was in Q3 quite a lot back when they introduced this rule. Before they introduced this rule, they didn't go out at all, did they? Which is very anticlimactic, wasn't it? This is definitely not going to be anticlimactic here today. So we haven't had no rain in qualifying, have we? So it's been an unusually beautiful sunny day here in China. So I wonder if the rain's going to come back with a vengeance in the race then. Oh, that's going to be good, isn't it? I think T Sammy would love a bit of rain, wasn't he? From what he was saying earlier on today. We got Brown out as well. We've also got Asdog as well. So T Sammy is really out straight away then on those shiny, pristine, soft compound tyres. And I wonder if T Sammy did his first run on used soft compound tyres, possibly. But I would also say that T Sammy there, he might need to find a bit of time there. I gotta say, Steve at the moment is in a different, is in a different country, isn't he? He's in a different postcode. Steve is. He's half a second in front of Timmy, and it's anyone's ball game behind him at the moment. Timmy, Matt, Dave, T Sammy and Fizzy and Asdog. Oh my goodness me, 3 tenths of a second separate second to 7th as well, and add Brown into the mix as well. I think Brown is good. I think Brown should be it will be up there as well. Don't count out Brown either. On board with T Sammy then. Let's go on board there with the championship leader. Of course, this is only his fourth race in IRC Super. Of course, he did race last season. He had some incredible races as well. Remember France? He was Mr. Clean, Mr. Consistent in France. There, he moved from 8th up into 2nd, didn't he? With no penalties at all. Brilliant stuff there. Yellow flag and free. I think it's just everyone just queuing up at the back of the track there, isn't it? They don't want any dirty air, do they? In the real Formula 1 world, I think it's about 5-6 seconds, isn't it, where you can be affected. That's incredibly that's outrageous, isn't it, really? So hopefully the 2021 rules would eradicate that. Hopefully, anyway. Anyway, enough about that. That's the future. We're here about here and now. We go and look at that. The time is just, it's eking away from us, eking away from the drivers. Just under 3 minutes to go, everyone. So it's going to get very, very interesting indeed, isn't it? It's going to get very tasty. T Sammy wants it to be a bit more tasty than what it is at the moment. He's only in the 32.2. I say only. I'd love to have that. He's 2 tenths of a second up. That is going to get him into 2nd position. Let's see what he can do then on the back straight then. And I got to say, T Sammy, Ur's management is absolutely second to none at the moment. He's doing an incredible job with that Ur's management. He's brilliant. Well, you can't. It's not just about driving the cars fast anymore. It's like driving a big computer, isn't it? Really, you got to tinker with the Urs. You got to also tinker with the fuel flow. You can tinker about with the brake bias as well. There's all sorts of weird and wonderful gadgets in these cars these days. And it was definitely too much for me to handle. Now is it going to be as T Sammy? It's not too much for any of these guys to handle. As T Sammy cuts across the line, and he goes 2nd fastest. Wow, he's done a 31.6 there. He has gained an almighty amount of time in the Taurus drive. He's got 2 minutes to go. He's good. I wonder if he's going to have a lot of harvesting going on at the moment. T Sammy there is 2nd on the grid mode. He's really he's out. He's out. T Sammy is done. He's not going to be on pole position. He's on the front row of the grid. Here comes Timmy there, taking a couple of bites of the cherry. Alfog's gone 3rd fastest. The 2 racing points are 1st and 3rd. Incredible stuff. What about Timmy? Is Timmy about to destroy the Pink Panther party? He's back over the 3rd position, but he's not on the front row anymore then. And I wonder if they're going to harvest and go again. Anyone who is not across the start finish line now will not be able to have a second bite of the cherry. What about Brownie? 6 tenths of a second down the first sector. He's had a bit of a nightmare first sector that Brown has, and that's the graphics is lying to me, which they have done before. And so it's Brown then. So we'll keep on board with Brown then. And we're on board with it. I've got to say that's at top of the helmet. I had a flashback to Alexander Wurz, and possibly because he did drive the Williams back in 2007. But yeah, we're on board there with Brown then. He's on the short back straight then before we get onto the long back straight then. 2nd down. Brown is in the 2nd sector. He's really pushing on though, isn't he, the Williams driver? And he's really not giving this one up, is he, as he comes through the banked corner then. Let's see if he can go like a rocket down the start finish right. Oh, he's taken very much an acute angle here, and he's I think he's got DRS mode, and look at that, he's got slipstream there, hasn't he, for one of the cars. It's out in the back. I think it's out Steve. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It looks like it is a racing point. It is a racing point. Let's join that racing point, shall we? Well, it's not Steve. It's Asdog. Asdog there. I think, is he going to go again? No, Asdog is coming into the pit. So is Brown as well. Matt is just about to start us up now then. So Matt has started us up. Dave has started us up as well. So here we go. And this is going to be a minute of absolutely incredible action. Roscoe then. Let's see what his first attempt is going to be. So we have finished. Timmy has finished. Asdog has finished. Brown has finished. Hogg unfortunately didn't get a chance. What about Roscoe? He's 4th fastest in the Toro Rosso then. He drops Asdog down to 5th position then. Timmy has finished and Steve is on the back straight. Steve is on the back straight. Here's the man who's provisional pole position. Let's see what he can do then. He's almost out of deployment in the racing point. He is at the moment. He is the man who is where everyone wants to be. Let's see. This is the final corner. He comes through and let's see what he can do. He is going to be. He's improved even more. A 31.337 from the racing point driver. Fantastic stuff there from Steve. Wow, impressive. Fizzy comes through. He's 5 tenths of a second up. Fizzy is. This is going to be it's a very good time for Fizzy. He's up in the 5th position there. What about Matt? What's left for Matt and Dave then? We'll find out now. It's coming down the back straight then. Dave is waiting for the DRS to open. It opens. Now, so the Ferrari, the car 25 and the DRS opens then. We're on the back straight then. What could the Ferrari driver do? He's 8th for the moment. Matt is 7th and they're on the 4th row of the grid. Can they catapult themselves up to greater heights then here in China? And now he comes through. Look at that. The car is basically light as a feather. Both these cars are going to be light as a feather. He comes through the final turn. Look at this out. The checker flag is flowing. Dave goes 6th fastest. What about Matt then? Matt comes through. And Matt goes and stays 8th fastest in the end then. So Dave moves up to 6th. Matt stays 8th. On pole position is Steve. That is the first pole position of his season. Incredible stuff there from the Racing Point driver. And Racing Point, who's had a very dodgy start to the season, has had an incredible qualifying session with Steve. He has got on pole position then, and well, this is the start of his season surely for Steve then. And I gotta say then, he is looking phenomenal, isn't he, from the get-go here tonight. Well, as soon as we put a banker lap down in Q1, he was looking phenomenal, wasn't he? Impressive stuff there from Steve then in the Racing Point then, as he just comes around for a victory lap then. He's gone faster still then. he's just a machine, isn't he now? And Grilioski, sorry, I was completely wrong. I think he's very interested in the session. Unfortunately, I cannot read out what he says because I'm not sure. But I think that might translate to I think he's very happy for Steve, and might be happy for T Sammy as well, because I think I'll be happy to start second for T Sammy. He's done a great job, hasn't he, T Sammy? He was on the back foot, and yet he still moved himself up to second then. T Sammy going for free tonight then. Who is going to stop him? Can this man Steve stop him? Timmy is back in town as well. He is in third position. We've got Roscoe in fourth as well. Fizzy and Dave 5th and 6th. Then of course Dave has been Mr. Consistency this season, hasn't he? Really done impressively well. Fizzy has also been more Fizzy of course has improved on his qualifying performances, and he has been there or thereabouts. He had a lot of good racing, didn't he, last season, but this season he's got the qualifying right as well. Very good stuff. Asdog 7th position, a bit difficult season for Asdog so far this season, but I think that 7th position you'd be quite happy with. Matt in 8th position, Brown in 9th position. He improved to a 32.3 in the end then, Brown did. So I think he'd be very happy with that, wasn't he? Because he was definitely there in the ballpark, and then Hogg unfortunately didn't set a time because his AI binned it, which is a shame. Dave is absolutely delighted with that, and I think I'd be delighted for any one of these guys to get in the top 10. Brilliant stuff there from everyone out there. On board with Steve then, as he is just coming down the back straight, as he's just enjoying himself out there as the session is almost over. And I think the Codemaster just wants to enjoy Steve's victory lap, or a couple of victory laps there, because he is absolutely ecstatic then, isn't he? And hopefully we'll get this race going in just a few moments. I think it's all about building up the tension, and we are definitely doing just that, aren't we? Now, as Steve Carr is slowing down there, of course. Remember, the cars are probably filled with only literally a couple of laps of fuel, wasn't they? Well, not even that. If you go into max mode, they probably were only filled. Well, you only get probably 2 laps out of them in max mode. So Steve is definitely now in that limpo mode, I should say. And yeah, so well, then this good. So there's a break as Hogg has left the session then. So I think Hogg is what the one caused the disturbance there. So unfortunate for Hogg there, because really he's been robbed, hasn't he, of tonight of a qualifying performance, and now unfortunately he's had to leave the session. I hope the Hogg is coming back in the session because we want to see both Ferraris on the grid. We want to see all 17 cars battle around the Chinese Grand Prix, and this is the final classification. And here he is back in. Excellent stuff then. This is the final time zone for qualifying 31.337 there from Steve. That is an incredible time there from Steve. T Sammy second, 2/10 second off. Timmy in third, 4/10 second off. With Roscoe in 5th position, and Fizzy in 6th, and Fizzy 5th, Dave 6th, and Asdog 7th, Matt 8th. Brown is in 9th position, and Hogg didn't set a time in 10th position. 9/10 of a second separates the top 9. That is phenomenal. That is absolutely phenomenal. Right then, so now we're going to get ready for the race now then. So I hope you're all buckled up and ready to go. This one's going to be an absolute doozy. And yeah, I must say, I'm going to be honest, I generally thought this was going to be a straight one stop. Medium to hard compounds. that's probably not going to happen, to be honest, because last night we had some really weird and wonderful strategies, didn't we? Jonathan Cox was on the soft tyres towards the end of the race. I was quite surprised. I didn't think the soft tyre was a realistic race tyre, and I think I'm going to be proved wrong again here, as we got two men starting on the soft tyres in the top 10, and we'll find out what they are in just a few moments' time. They are just picking their strategies. Then everyone from 11th down to 17th can pick whatever tyres they fit to race on. In the top 10, you have to start on the tyres which you set your fastest time on. Of course, that is a disadvantage about the qualifying in the top 10, but the less disadvantages, you will not be involved as much traffic then. And there it is. That's an absolute beautiful sight, isn't it? Seeing these cars ready to get going in the McLaren. Timmy there just a bit slow to get away there, but as we got Williams out just darting out there as well. So it's the Alfa Romeo there just flies off the grid then. Of course, if you remember Schumacher doing that in '94 Silverstone, he got black flagged for that. Of course, then no such thing is going to happen here. Let's go for the grid, shall we? From front to back. And as you can see, then we've got two men on the soft common tires. That is Brown and Hogg. We've got a couple of hard runners out there as well. And that's a Ferrari there going using the alternative circuit there. And we've got hard tires for Harry and Snap. Then both Renaults are really liking the hard compound tire, aren't they? Let's just take you through the grid then, as I've been trying to do for for the past couple of minutes, but I'll keep yapping away. 28 laps around Shanghai. Let's go for it. Steve is on pole position. An incredible lap from Steve there. T. Sammy is alongside him. That's row one. That's an incredible row one, isn't it? Timmy in third position. He is back at the sharp end of the field, isn't he? Timmy is. Fourth position is Roscoe with Fizzy in fifth position. As Fizzy and Dave are having a good old race around here, as they are leading the formation lap. Fifth and sixth then. We got Asdog in seventh position in the second Pink Panther. Eighth position is Matt then in the Toro Rosso. Brown in ninth position. Watch Brown and Hogg. They're going to be steaming off the grid there in a 10th position there. 11th position there is Double just outside the top 10, but he's probably in the perfect position, isn't he? From his point of view, he can absolutely dictate his strategy now. Then we've got Woody in 12th position. We've got Sprint in 13th position. We've got the first of the Renaults of Harry in 14th position. Snap is in 15th position, both on the hard compound tires. I'm sure I said a car just out in the wilderness there. We've got PB in 16th position, and JJ is in 17th position, and there's all sorts of shenanigans going on there. Both Renaults there, and oh dear, and we've had some disqualification. JJ in 17th position then. It's Snap there, who's been a naughty boy there, and he's been sent to the grid. So 28 laps around here then. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Shanghai. That is not what you can say often around here. It's usually a rain affected race. T-Sam is going to be disappointed at that. Of course, he was hoping for rain. I think he was doing a rain dance as well. But unfortunately, that has not come to fruition. And we're going to get a dry race, as we've got two cars who have disappeared there. I think someone's been playing Lord of the Rings. Anyway, it's now then we're going to get ready then. 28 laps around around this incredible Shanghai International Circuit. We're just waiting for the cars then to finish our formation lap then. A traditional Super IRC. I've got to say that's one of the more quicker laps in IRC Super history. Anyway, we're going to get ready now then. We got 28 laps around here. We got Jan van den Brink saying, come on boys, hopefully just an incredible race as last week. Good Luke. And yes, definitely. I got to say, last week was a phenomenal race, wasn't it? In Bahrain, we got those 5 sets of lights go on. We were just waiting for them to go out. There's a pause. And it's go! And it's a... Oh, go! Oh, look at that. We've got a lot of wheel spin already. Because Ross gets on every second. Timmy's on a terrible start. And the pole is on for the McLaren driver. And Steve takes the lead. Steve has cut the lead. And T. Sammy is second. We've got a yellow flag. And we've got a yellow flag. And that's Matt off the track. Woody and Matt have gone off the track. They've come to blows already. Steve leads. Second position is T. Sammy first position. Roscoe finishes up to fourth position. But there's a Timmy inside him. No, on the inside, I should say. Fizzy is now... look at the drag race going down into turn 6. And Timmy, he's got a bit wide there. He's got the outside. That's a cracking move there from Timmy. He's back up to 4th position. Fizzy 5th. 6th is Asdog. Brown 7th. Hogg is 8th. Davis down to 9th. He's out of the pole start. Davis has 10th position is Double. Harry 11th position. Sprint. Snap. PP, JJ, then we got Matt. Has he got damage? Just take a look. He's all right. The car is all pointing in one direction, and so is Woody as well. And as we take a look, we're waiting for the leaders. There they are. Well, Steve is got a 7-10 second lead at the moment. Then so as T. Sammy is second position. Roscoe's having a look, but I think he's just trying to just trying to distract Hog, and whoa, Hog is flown. Oh dear, and I think that I wonder if that was a daylight in a dollar shot for Hog there, because he's letting drivers through, I think. And oh my goodness me, there's a house on the inside, and Double Air is just trying to poke his nose in there. I don't know, that's a Renner like getting very on the inside there. That's a very dangerous place to be. There's a come down into the hairpin for the first time. Then there you got 27 more times to do this, everyone. So so sit back, enjoy. This is going to be incredible stuff, man. And I'm Mercedes, and we've got both Renaults have come to blows. Harry and Snap have come to blows down the back straight there. Snap has damaged the car. Steve sets the fast lap of the race, and Snap there, oh dear, then he's got an awful amount of understeer then, and PB is now going to be all over him, isn't it, as they come down into turn one then. As I just take a look at the back end of the field, and T. Sammy is now starting to find his feet, hasn't he? On board then with Timmy in fourth position mode in the McLaren, and there's the leaders there just in front of us. Brown is out of the electric star. He is up in two. He's up three positions. I think that yeah, Brown and PB have both Williamsons have took off like a rocket there. I wonder if they might be investigating for traction control, for launch control there. In all seriousness, well done to both drivers. That was a brilliant start for both. Unfortunately, Matt and Woody have had the worst starts, haven't they? As they've dropped down in competitions as well. Dave has actually recovered very well. Actually, he's moved himself back up into seventh position now, and is starting to put pressure on the Williams driver. Of course, Brown is on soft tires for Hog as well. They're going to might start to struggle in the not too distant future on the I thought there was a change of position then. Yeah, on the soft tires, so keep an eye on that then. We also got keeping on this battle here. On board Timmy on back on board the McLaren driver then, as they come down the back straight. As Matt is gone on, he's on the inside, on the outside now, and he is through as JJ has dropped down into 60th position. Now we've got Woody there, who would also like to get by as well then. So it's coming down into the hairpin then. Timmy there just too far back in the moment, but David is on board and oh wow, what a move, as they've gone a bit wide there. I think the camera angle might have thrown me out a bit, as Steve's at the fast lap, but now T-Sam out as well, as Matt is dropped back to Matt, and Woody are battling tooth and nail for 50 for 60 for this round. As long as in the pits, oh my goodness, they took the camera with us, and JJ's had a appalling exit out of turn 16 and now it's Woody's up in the 5th position. JJ started around the 16th position then, as they go into turn 1 then. Asdog's in the pits, and he's damaged the car. The race report is damaged the car. Asdog's miserable season continues at the moment. Hopefully he can get something out of this race. Dave then is in 6th position, and Brown is 7th position then. 8th is Double. Hog is in 9th position. 10th position is Sprint then. And so I catch my breath then, because my goodness me, what an incredible start to this Chinese Grand Prix. Just having a quick look up and down the field, shall we? Yeah, it was a great. I think it was an absolutely incredible move for Dave. I was thrown up by the camera. I wasn't sure if he went in deep or not. At first glance, I thought it was an incredible move. But as Fizzy there in 5th position there, Dave is in 6th position, but soft tire runner of Brown there still in 7th position. We're on board Brown at the moment. And you're just watching the Ferrari in front of us at the moment. It's Sprint and Hog. They're the closest battles on track at the moment. Oh, and not forgetting Woody and Matt are also in close company as well. But Matt's actually right on the inside of Snap. Snap has got damage to the car. Matt has gone on the inside. Has gone on the outside. Has gone on the inside now. I think he's loving that. That's it. Oh my goodness me! And I think Snap is lucky to keep it all pointed in the right direction. We've also got Hog, who's sprinted up the inside. He is through. He is up at the 9th position. He passes the Ferrari driver, and he is on his way then. JJ is in front of Snap as well. Snap unfortunately damaging the car on his teammate, and is starting to is really struggling now then. DRS is enabled last lap actually, so I'm a lap behind already in this race, so you might have to bear with me. It's now then we're on board then Fizzy, and look at the top 5, they're in shot. Look at them, it's Steve, it's T-Sammy, it's Roscoe, it's Timmy and Fizzy, all in the same shot. Dave is just 4 seconds back there as well, so Dave might get very keen on this action as well. And look at them all. This is an incredible start then to Chinese Grand Prix. We got 24 more laps of this, everyone. So yes, we got to slow the pace down a bit. I don't know if it could make 28 laps then of this incredible action then. Snap there is in the pits then for the Renault, unfortunately then. So that's unfortunate for that. He damaged the car, didn't he, on the when well, his teammate didn't down into there. And then lovely shot, onboard shot here with the Alfa Romeo then. As you can see there just in front of us, all these guys are on the medium compound tire then. So the question is now, how are they going to? How is the strategy going to play out then? Of course, then they're all on they're all on the same compound tires, but I don't think it's as straightforward as that, is it? You got to you can't really, yeah, you really. I wonder who's going to roll the dice first. Who's going to come in the pits? I don't think anyone's going to come in the pits just yet because really, I think it's way too early for the medium runners to come in the pits. Remember, the soft tire runners aren't coming in the pits either. Yet then on board with Roscoe, he is looking very interesting on his teammate at the moment. As there's a bit of banter going on between the teammates earlier on in this in the day, wasn't there? So it's lovely shot of the steering wheel. And you can see look all the information these drivers have got to process. And there is a very sprint. Oh, and he's gone into double there. But I think that's a bit injustice there from the sprint there. He's slowed the car down. Oh, Brown there. Oh my goodness me! Where's Sprint? Sprint's on the outside. I thought he's going on the outside then. And yeah, Sprint there going side by side with Double did a good job there. And now Sprint there is got the DRS. He flies into turn one. He takes 8th position away from Double dropping down to 9th position. Is Double going to go back up and under there? We're on board then with the Haas driver then. And no, not at the moment then. So Sprint has got it, and Sprint is now up into 8th position then. Go on, Sprint. As he now accelerates away out of turn 3 then. And we've also got Hogg there, who's now coming under a lot of pressure from Harry then. Remember, Harry is not using traction control tonight, so he's doing a good job. Whoa! And that was a very long way back there for Harry. And now Hogg is, there's no damage there to either car, so very lucky escape there. And Harry is on his way then. And yeah, I wonder if he misjudged his braking point there, possibly. It can be very difficult. Oh my goodness me. And now we're back up to the front then. And so you can see that now it's getting very interesting. See there, it's 7/10 of a second in front of T-Sammy. T-Sammy is 5/10 of a second in front of Roscoe. Roscoe is 7/10 of a second in front of Timmy. I think that Timmy needs to be more concerned about the Alfa Romeo in the background. Harry and Matt are going wheel to wheel. They're dueling for 11th, 12th position. Fizzy is going to go the inside. We're on board there with the Alfa Romeo driver. He's up the inside. Does he take it? He has. He's got track position. He's got the inside line. And he is through and past the McLaren driver. And Timmy's trying to go up and under there, but not quite. It was a lovely shot again. And Fizzy is up in the 4th position. McLaren now just get a bit wide then. We've also got Harry. Oh, look at this. And we've got a Renault, a Ferrari, a Red Bull, and a Williams are all battling away going into the... we got Brown in the pits already. So Brown's in the pits. The soft tires have not lasted. They're in the pits already. Hogg is decided to stay out of the one. Harry is in the points head. Good stuff. And so is Hogg. And Matt is now challenging then Hogg for 10th position. Then Matt is just trying to get himself back in the points then after been a difficult start then for the Red Bull driver then. And Fizzy has dropped outside DRS of Roscoe at the moment then. Oh, but well, now he's back in. That's incredible, isn't it? As these times are yo-yoing around at the moment. It's brilliant stuff, isn't it? Half a second, the gap is at the front. Matt is less than half a second. Is he going to send one? No, not quite. He doesn't want to have a go down into turn 6 there. I wonder if he's going to wait for the DRS there. Or he might wait for the Ferrari driver to make a mistake. Remember, the Ferrari driver will be on soft tires. Those tires will start to feel a bit second-hand now, I feel. Oh, look at this. We're back at the front then. The top 5 are just within a whisker of each other. There they all are. It's a train then. As they come down the back straight once again. And just on board then with the Toro Rosso then. We've got, look, and Fizzy's really up for it today, isn't he? We're on board then with the Alfa Romeo driver. He's in the slipstream. Is he going to have a look? No, not quite. As Steve, I think he's just too far back at the moment then. And I got to say, it's really incredible, isn't it? How they just and we'll come back in just a minute. Now, because Matt is, look at this, Matt is now starting to really get interested in Hogg's position. He's more than interested. He has taken 10th position past the Ferrari driver and in the points. So Matt is through, and Steve is dropping down the order. Oh no, I don't know where to look. Ferrari, we got to have a look at the front, surely. Oh, that's why, because they're side by side. I know, where is he? Sammy's on the inside. PB is past them, and Hogg is dropping down. He's in the pits, and Steve repelling the attack there from T-Sammy. Now Roscoe is all over the back of his team. Is he going to send one up the inside? No, not quite then. So JJ up at the front position. Hogg is in the pits. So yeah, I think I said that already. So Hogg is going on to the hard compound tire then. So Brown also has gone to the medium tire. Wow. Look at the undercut. As Brown's already through and up to the 14th position then. So Steve repelling the attack there just about there. We got 5 cars in the same shot here. This is incredible, isn't it? And really enjoying this. Shades of 2000, I think it was 2016, was not 15, where Hamilton was kind of holding Rosberg up, wasn't it? I think there was a bit of a Q4 behind him. But I don't think Steve is holding him up. I think that Steve was just driving his own race at the moment, and I gotta say, he was doing some incredible defending then on the back straight once again. I think this is probably where Steve's most vulnerable is, because look at this, he does have DR stuff, and he's already spinning to defend there, because T. Sammy is coming. There he is. Where is he? Look left. He is through. He is snailed through, and he is up into first position. And Steve has dropped out second. We'll see how DRS going into turn one. Then we'll find out there. But I wonder now then, is T. Sammy got the pace there to stretch his legs? We'll find out now. But at the moment, he's gone wide then. Oh, they've all gone wide apart from Steve. And Steve's got DRS then. But I wonder if the gap is too great. It's at half a second, isn't it? It will be coming down. But yeah, T. Sammy there is launched off the final quarter, and let's see what happens now then, as I see there is just dropping down into second position. T. Sammy's race pace is incredible, isn't it, this season so far? As I said, 2 for 2 wins at the moment for T. Sammy. Lap 8 out of 28 then, and we'll find out what happens in this race then. But it's not all doesn't yet then. We've still got 20 laps to go around here. Anything can happen in Formula 1, and it usually does, especially in IRC Super. We're on board then with Roscoe at the moment. He is 3/10 of a second away from Steve, and I wonder if Toro Rosso fancying a Red Bull Toro Rosso 1-2 here tonight. Well, the stars are starting to align at the moment, aren't they? And so it's looking very strong at the moment. But I think Steve will have a lot to say about that, wouldn't he? But so will Fizzy, and so will Timmy as well, who's holding on to the back. There he is in the McLaren then. I gotta say, Steve there is I wonder if he's going to turn it all up to 10 now, isn't he? And let's see what he can do then. Well, lovely shot of the curves there, but we'd rather see these cars here, wouldn't they? He didn't get the best exit out of turn 13 now, so he's just lost a 10th of a second. He's losing a bit more now. It is T. Sammy's lightning down that back straight, isn't he? Well, we've seen how lightning it was. Steve there is really straight on the back straight for straight line speed. Is Roscoe going to send one up the inside? He has. And Steve there's got momentum on the outside, and he chops him off. And Steve has got second position still. Then there's T. Sammy, Steve, Roscoe, Fizzy, and Timmy. Incredible. Now then, Roscoe Loomis all over the back. I mean, once again, Steve does have DRS, but Steve's going to go on the outside. He is on the outside, not quite out. And look, it's Timmy's dropped back there to a second. Oh, look at that, that's Fizzy there, who was going up the inside. This is fantastic racing, it is. And now they accelerate out of turn 3. And 1.2 seconds of gap is now between T. Sammy and Steve. Then so the battle is now for second between Steve, between Roscoe, between Fizzy and Timmy as well. Dave is getting 3/10 of a second out of the guys in front as well. Into the pits is PB in the Williams there. He didn't make his way up to 12th position there, PB. So good stuff there from the Williams driver. So just take a look up and down the field. I think this is the close battle on track. Matt is now starting to really hound Harry at the moment for 9th and 10th position, and we're keeping on that battle as well. But we can't take our eyes off this at the moment, can we? An absolutely epic one. This is shaping up to be an epic race here in China once again, here in Shanghai then. Like I say, Steve in the middle sector is really incredible, isn't it? I'm wondering if he's definitely his car. I'm wondering if the second sector he might have a bit more downforce on that car, which means he's much better in the corners, isn't he? On board with Roscoe, we're looking back, and there's an Alfa Romeo. We can just see the Alfa Romeo. What about in front of us? Then Roscoe there, of course. He was about this distance last time. You see, he's adjusted the wheels. He's going for an overtake. That's incredible. Oh, they've run wheels. They've bagged wheels, and Roscoe is through it up in the second position. Steve, what can he do? Back on board with the Racing Point driver then as they cutting through turn 16. Then Roscoe's got wide. And Steve there getting a bit squirrely on the exit. Matt is through past Harry, I think, and up into 9th position. And Steve there is gaining. He's going to go on the inside. He is on the inside. He's past Roscoe and back out. Is Roscoe gone? He's gone back up and under, hasn't he, Roscoe? Fantastic. And but no, Steve's going to be on the inside. Oh dear. And how have they got there? All right. Oh, love it. Absolutely love it. I thought Steve went around there. He hasn't got around at all. Great car control. Great balance from both guys. Is Steve going to have a go on the inside? No, not quite. I thought he was going to go up the inside then. Not quite. Oh, but he might have the I thought he was going to have the momentum there. Look in the background there. Fizzy is now under all kinds of problems there from the McLaren driver of Timmy in 4th and 5th position then. So Steve has dropped for our pole sitter man is now in 3rd position at the moment. And that's unfortunate. Then we're also on board then with Tim in the moment in McLaren. Then as he is just giving a watch and brief at the moment. in the McLaren. And look at this, though. I think that this battle for second, third, fourth, and fifth is anything but done. This is an incredible race. This is what we were talking about in pre-season, wasn't it? We have all kinds of names are going to be in the shout with podiums, battling for wins, battling at the front. Then Roscoe, Steve, Fizzy, and Timmy all battling for second position at the moment. And we and remember we haven't got Dave in, Matt in this battle either. Of course, remember they've been incredible so far this season as well. Then and they come down into turn 14 then. And Steve has dropped down to 14th position. Then there's Fizzy's now moved up to 13th, and Steve is dropping down. Oh my goodness me! And that McLaren having a good old drift there. But now Steve, is he going to go? He's going to have another go. Then back on board there with the race of point driver. He is through. Is he? He is through. Is he? No, he ain't, because he's running that wide. He's running that wide there. And I think that was more of the understeer than first. But Fizzy's got the inside into turn 3. Accelerates the way down. Where are they? Where are they? There's the two Toro Rossos. There they are. And Steve is back into third position mode. But where's Fizzy? Fizzy's all over. He's all over. He's attached to that force. And yes, they come down into turn 4. And they accelerate away now. Wow, and look at this, all the battling is really helping Roscoe, because it's coming up to it. It's now improving to a second end. Look at this as they all fly through turn 7 and 8 there. This is really helping Roscoe, because it's now up to a tenth of a second at the moment. It's now up to a second end. Steve is really struggling for race pace around here at the moment, isn't he? He really is, isn't that? This, so Steve there, I'm wondering if it's the tires that have gone off. I'm wondering if the setup is just not helping the tires, perhaps. I'm grasping at straws here. Maybe Steve's just just needs to get back into his rhythm and get back on it, or possibly, who knows? But what we do know is this is a fantastic race for all 5 drivers. T. Sammy at the moment then is the mode leader. He's starting to have a commander lead of 1.5 seconds at the moment. Roscoe is now a second and a bit in front of his team, in front of Steve at the moment. And Fizzy there is just having a look there. I think he was just trying to distract Steve there. Of course, Steve's a wily old fox, isn't he? He's not going to be distracted too much there, is he, from Fizzy at the moment. Back on board with the Alfa Romeo driver. You can see then, look at this then. He is in the slipstream. Steve hasn't got DRS anymore, has he? As Fizzy, he's going to go have a look down into one. Not quite. Not quite for the Alfa Romeo driver. And look at that. Steve is drifting. Why he's really struggling with the understeer on that racing point at the moment. Matt is in front of Double. Matt is moving up to 8th position. Double is in the pits then. So Double coming in the pits then quite early on then for the with the medium compound tires. I'm wondering if he's going to have a go at the undercut there. So he could potentially really cause a sprint, and the guys in front of him some issues. Then he has to come out and clear traffic though, doesn't he? We're keeping an eye on that, but we're keeping an eye on Double's progress as well. Of course, remember also we've seen Brown come in, of course. On the soft when he won soft tires, now on the medium tires. Hogg is also on the hard tires as well, so keep an eye on those two as well. Jan van den Brink saying that, wow, what a race up till now. It's been an incredible race. There's the 2 leaders, there's the Toro Rossos, really doing incredible, aren't they, the constructors? They really are. And here tonight they're doing brilliantly as well. And but of course we ain't even at half distance yet, so this is not a done and dusted affair by any stretch of the imagination. So no one can really count their chickens at all yet. This is not going to be the final classification, I can assure you of that. T. Sammy though is going for free, isn't he? I gotta say, this man is going to start to rewrite the record books, isn't he? Of course, remember, not that bad last season. And Fizzy there is having a look. Not quite. I think he was too far back. And he almost. And look, that's why Timmy's up the inside. Where did that McLaren come from? And but Fizzy does have the inside line going into turn 16. But yeah, and Steve's in the pits, and Steve's in the pits. T. Sammy's in the pits as well. Then, so they're in quite. Well, I would say quite early, but I suppose that is bang on a one-stopper. So yeah, of course, remember they will, because our tires are more durable than the medium tires. I think the hard tires can go around here almost forever and a day around here, can't they? Roscoe stays out, of course, because that's the only downside, because the Toro Rossos are racing so close together. You cannot go pit because there's only one pit box for one pit box for per team. So yeah, Roscoe didn't want to queue up because he would have just lost an almighty amount of time there. As just taking a look down, where does T. Sammy comes out in? He's come out right behind Matt at the moment then. So he's come out right behind Matt. And where is Steve? Steve has come out right behind Harry as well then. So this is not going to tell them. This might give the advantage for Roscoe. Remember, the gap was 1.5 seconds when he comes into the pits then. So this is not going to tell. So he's got fresh tyres. Matt is on the Matt's on 12 lap medium tyres. This is this could potentially play into the hands then of Roscoe in the Toro Rosso, who's in the race at the moment. then, and look at this, as Timmy there is really battling away, isn't he, with that Alfa Romeo. He is all over the back of it, but he's lost a lot of momentum there. Back on board with this battle here, and Steve is also struggling to get by as well. That's the downside, isn't it, about coming in first, because of all the traffic that you're going to have problems with. As Steve has just gone by Harry, hasn't he? He's moved up into 7th position there. He's a second and a half behind T-Sammy. T-Sammy is on, or is he? Oh, look at this. Harry is back through. But where's Steve? Steve is now going on the, is now through and back up into 7th position. Then there's Harry there. Oh, look at this. And now T-Sammy up the inside of that. He is through and up into 5th position then. I wonder how much time he's lost, though. That is the question. How much time has he lost then compared to the guys who's racing? Roscoe, Fizzy, and Timmy are all in the pits now. Then Matt's coming in the pits as well. They're in it. Oh, Roscoe's in and out of the pits now. Then the Toro Rosso is at the end. So is the Alfa Romeo. But is it enough? We're on board then. Where are they? T-Sammy is back in front. So T-Sammy is back in front then. And Steve is moved. Is back in the 3rd position. Where is he? No, where is he? Where is I don't know. Fizzy there. Oh, look, there's Fizzy, and just in front of Harry. Timmy didn't get out in front of Harry, and look at how much time he's just pushing that Renault out of the way there. The McLaren engine supplier is just trying to push him out the way then, and he does then go in. Harry there is I think that Harry didn't really want to fight that one too much, did he? So it's I would say it's almost status quo then, isn't it? Now let's see, Fizzy there. Steve is now less than a second behind now. So really, that period of the race there really helped Steve, didn't he? Very good stuff indeed. And T-Sammy there didn't lose as much time as I thought he would. I think it also underlines the pace that Matt has in this race. Unfortunately, he's just had a very difficult start to this race, didn't he? Where he was around the wrong way after the first corner. Unfortunately, it's a very difficult opening corner, this, isn't it? So you really want to, you really don't want to. Yeah, if you get it wrong, unfortunately, that's kind of it. It's very difficult indeed. And just watching, talking to Matt, here he is now. He's in 12th position, right behind the Ferrari of Hogg, who is in. Matt's in 13th. Hogg is in 12th position and back on board then with the Red Bull driver now. Then and Hogg there has done 7 laps on those hard tires. I said the hard tires go for like ever and a day. I wonder if Hogg might think about going towards the end now. Unfortunately for Hogg, going on the soft tires, it really hasn't helped, has it? At the beginning of this race, it's really put a disadvantage that T-Sammy has got the fast on the race. He hasn't had the full house yet, has he, this season? No, he ain't gonna get the full house here because Steve there is going faster still. Steve there has really got the bit between. See, Matt is up the inside past Hogg, and Hogg is down into 13th position. Yellow flag in one. I think that's our first yellow flag of the night there, isn't it? Brilliant. Sprinters dropped down the 2nd position there, and I'm just flicking through to see what's going on. Yeah, there's all sorts going on. So T-Sammy is retaking the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix, and now that look at this, there's a queue behind Sprint, and Sprint's medium tires are well past their best now. So that car is not going to it might be resembling a bit of an old van now. Oh, look at he's going to go on the outside. He is on the outside. Brilliant. And of course Sprinter is, look at this, he's getting past their front center. Those tires are well past their best now. That just shows the difference between the hard tires, the brand new hard tires, and the second hand of the medium compound tire. And they're both on their way there. There's the gap at the front is 1.4 seconds. It's between Steve and Roscoe. We're interested at the moment, haven't we? We've also got Fizzy and Timmy, who is a couple of seconds back. Fizzy's dropped off the battle at the moment for 2nd position. But I wonder if we might come back to him later on. We're on board there. We see how Fizzy's too far back. Now it's what a 5/10 of a second gap looks like in a Formula 1 car. Look at them all. Look at them all going down and into the hairpin. And it's a really sight to behold, isn't it? Fizzy in 5th position, then Harry coming on, and we've got Hogg there, who is at 8/10 of a second behind Matt at the moment. I've also got PB, who is 6/10 of a second behind. Sprinters in the pits then for the McLaren team, for the Mercedes team. So he's coming in the pits. I wonder if he's just going to. Well, I think his only option there is they go on the hard tires. I wonder if Sprint possibly should have come in a lap or two earlier, maybe. But who knows? Who knows? That might, of course, he would have. But the advantage here is he has fresher tires, and that could pay dividends later on in this race. So keeping an eye on Sprint then. Double is just passing for 10th position, and Matt is also flown by as well in 11th position as well. And so Sprint at the undercut is really big around here, isn't it? Timmy and Fizzy going to resume their battle now as the traffic is out of the way then. So let's take a look at the classification. No retirement so far in this Chinese Grand Prix. Brilliant stuff indeed there from all drivers out here tonight. Very well done indeed. T. Sammy leads this race by a 1.5 seconds from Roscoe in second position. It's a Toro Rosso 1-2 at the moment. Third position is at Steve then. He is on the podium at the moment. Then he's on a battle. No drivers. Remember, Racing Point haven't scored a point yet. Fizzy is it was a 5-car battle before these pit stops. Fizzy has lost 2 seconds somewhere, but Timmy is matched him stride for stride in 5th position. Harry, no traction control on hard tires. He's doing a phenomenal job. He is up into 6th position at the moment. Harry is doing a cracking job. The Renault driver. 7th position is Brown. Then of course I think he's on alternative strategy. So I think those medium tires. He's going to come in the pits again. I think Dave is through past Brown and moved up into 7th position. Then Brown having a look on the outside, but Dave's having none of it. He is up into 7th position in the Ferrari then. Brown dropping down to 8th position, and Timmy's at the fast lap of the race. These fast laps are yo-yoing around, isn't it? It's incredible. Showing the pace of the drivers is immense, isn't it? Asdog in 9th position then. He's having to come back drive after having to pit earlier on because of damage to his car. And and I thought Brown was going to go on the inside then. And we've also got Double in 10th position, but Matt and Sprint are now starting to bear down. Double's going the medium tires again, so Double is going for a 2-stop strategy here in the Haas. Matt and I think Matt and Sprint I don't think are going to be on the I don't think Matt and Sprint are going to come in the pits again, so they're on the hard tires to the end of this race then. Matt 11th, Sprint 12th, Hog in 13th position, also on the alternative strategy. I wonder if he's going to think about going to the end. Harry's done 16 laps on those hard tires. He's got to do an awful lot more than that, so he's got to do another 10 odd laps on those hard tires. So that is going to be a big ask, isn't it, for Sprint? But I want to for Hog, I want to see what he can do. Woody is in 14th position then, Snap in 15th position, 16th position is PB, and JJ is in the pits in at 17th position then. And JJ is our first retirement then in the McLaren, and he is out of the race then. Unfortunately for JJ, as he was a bit adrift, wasn't he, right at the back of the field. So that's a shame then for McLaren driver on board with Timmy at the moment. And look at this, and the battle at the front then. Roscoe is not letting T Sammy go, is he, at the moment in the Toro Rosso, as they got a yellow flag in one. I think it's just the McLaren. And Dave is through and up into... Oh, is he? He's got a bit wide then. He's got a bit wide. And Harry is through and back up into 6th position. Dave get on the grass there. And Harry... Oh, and a Brown there coming into the pit end. He's done 11 up on the medium compound tires, Brown is. So Brown on a 2-stop strategy. And now Dave then is going to have another attack then in the Renault driver as they come down into turn 1. A yellow flag in 1 and 2. That's not a good side. Is that McLaren? That's a McLaren there who's just parking off, and I'm thinking that was so we've got pit stops there for Brown and Pete, and for Snap then as they come into the pits and setting a new set of medium compound tires then. I'm also losing my voice as well. My goodness me, it's been a cracker, hasn't it? 1 second to go between Toro Rosso and Roscoe. Between T Sammy and Roscoe. Roscoe's had a bit of a nightmare second sector there, hasn't he? He's lost 4 tenths of a second somewhere. Steve is now 4 tenths of a second away from him. He's 3 tenths of a second away from him. He is less than that now. Roscoe's had the pole in second sector somewhere. We're on board with T if the pole's there now. He is coming down the back straight. Roscoe's going to defend. He's going to defend. Look at this. They're so close together. There's a yellow flag in free. I think Harry is spun. I think as Roscoe's going to have a look on the inside. Oh my goodness. And again, no damage. Brilliant stuff there. Really well done. I got to say, these guys are breaking incredibly well, aren't they? I keep thinking they're going to go to the side of each other. No, they're absolutely to perfection. Roscoe is not going to lay down, no, is he? He is coming back at him then. Steve goes on the inside. Roscoe is staying to the race. Like, easy going on the outside, and he is going on the outside. Steve is on the inside, and they go a bit wide there as Roscoe almost used the track and then some. And Steve there positions his car absolutely wonderfully well there. So Steve is back up to second position. Roscoe had a bit of a horror show, didn't he, in the second sector. Into the pits comes Alstock then. He's done 16 laps on those hard tires, and I'm wondering what tires are going to go on then. It's a bit. I wonder if it's a bit too long for the soft compound tires, perhaps. Then Harry is still in 7th. I wonder if Harry's going to go to the soft. I reckon he's doing a similar strategy then last night to Jonathan, perhaps. And so we could see Harry be absolutely electric later on. Look at how far. Look at how far the how tight it is. Because Asdog's coming to the pits, and he's dropped from 8th or 9th down to his 15th position. That's how tight it is in the in this race. It's been incredible, hasn't it? Lionel Stern all the way through this race, and this is definitely enthralling stuff. It really is. So once again, now Roscoe and Steve there, these guys have been incredible, haven't they? An incredible fight all the way through this race then, and this is definitely a 1-2 to watch right to the very end then. Lap 19 out of 28. We're on board then with Roscoe. That's what 6/10 of a second. Look at this. He's gaining. Believe it or not, the straight might not be long enough for Roscoe. Or is it? I thought he was going to have a lunge there. See that? Oh, he's gone a bit wide there. See, as Asdog's past PB already. Asdog on medium tyres then. Now should get him to the end quite comfortably. Timmy is very much right all over the back of Fizzy like a bad suit down in the background there. As orange and white does go well together, doesn't it? But I don't think Fizzy's too interested in that. As he is keeping Timmy back at the moment in 4th position and 5th position as it stands at the moment. Sprinters now. Oh, is that JJ's left for session there? Unfortunately, JJ on a bit of a horror show here tonight. There's a very close battle between sprint and double, isn't there? For the battle for 9th and 10th at the moment. Harry is in the pits. We'll keep him on, Harry, because I wonder if he's going to go on to the soft compound tires. Harry might be flying around like the Flash here at the moment, in that yellow Renault, perhaps, but we'll find out. And yeah, he's on the soft compound tire. Harry is. He is going to be very quick in these final stages of this race. So that is going to be interesting to see now. Harry could get a fast lap, but can he get back into the points as well? That is the question that is going to be on Harry's mind at the moment, isn't it? Whether he's got too much to do. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out in about 9 laps time, won't we? What if that's the case, maybe. And once again, there, T Sammy there is still. He has not gone, is he? He hasn't checked out in this race at all. Not by any stretch of the imagination. T Sammy hasn't. So he's still within striking distance, so if anything goes wrong, if he gets a penalty or anything like that, these guys could strike while Siren's hot. Talking of penalties, I think that might be the first one we've had today of Harry, perhaps. And once again, Roscoe there, almost he was there or thereabouts. I don't think he was that close enough. And so same for Timmy at the moment, as he is just. He is just behind Fizzy at the moment. Look at that! Fizzy there flying through turn 16 then, and he was really taking no prisoners through there, was he? Double there has just dropped down into 9th position now then, as we're just taking a quick look to see what else is going on at the moment. Hogg is might be feeling the pressure of Brown, and Hogg has done 13 laps on the hard tyres, and Brown there is going for a late one here. He's up the inside. Where is he? There's Hogg on the outside. Brown there. Wow, Brown there is not really there. Just threw it in there, and an incredible manoeuvre. He's up to 11th position then. Now then we've got Asdog. Harry's got another 3-second penalty. He's really trying to hunt down some points, isn't he? He's really pushing that car. And 1.1 seconds to go at the front as well. The gap at the front has been the maximum figure of about 1.5 seconds. So that's how close this race has been. It's been incredible, isn't it? One wrong move and you're going to drop right down the field. Remember, Asdog was right in the thick of the action there, but unfortunately he's out of sync with strategy, which means that he had to come in the pits then. But now then he's dropped from like 8th or 9th down up into 13th position then. Hogg there defending. Asdog having a look there on the outside, but no, not on the inside, but no, not quite then. Hogg is catching his position at the moment then. As oh God, got a breath there. As they fly through turn 7 then. As you can see then, Asdog's, look at Asdog's these tyres. 2 laps out these medium tyres are compared to Hogg, who's done 14 laps on those hard tyres. So those hard tyres are definitely going to be well past their best now, aren't they? Timmy is 4/10 of a second back from Fizzy still, but at the moment it's status quo at the front, isn't it? It's they are still. I wonder who is going. I think they're preparing for that final big move, aren't they? With just 6 laps to go. Asdog is not going to wait 6 laps, is he? He wants to get the job done now. He is almost. He ain't even DRS yet, but he's come off that. That just shows what fresh tyres does to you. He just flies off the banked corner. He is through up into 12th position, and Hogg is dropped down into 13th position then. And I gotta say, I love the over-the-shoulder shots there. Really good stuff. It would be better if I had off-board cameras out though, because we would have had a better shot of the overtaking maneuver. Harry then is almost, well, he is on the back of PB now. He's on soft tires, isn't he? As we said before, he is going to be very quick in the Renault. I'm on board there with Harry then. He set a fast lap of the race and a 34.9 there. And I'm wondering if anyone's going to be able to beat that, as PB there is going very wide into turn 1 there, and Harry's gone up and under, and he is through past the Williams driver and into 14th position. Where is he in terms of points? He is he's about 10 seconds off the points playing positions. And I'm not there with 6 laps to go. It'll be a mammoth effort, but it's mission unlikely, I think, for Harry, unfortunately. I think that might be just a too much of a stretch there. So just looking through that. Look, Timmy there is gaining on Fizzy there. Timmy, it's got a much better run. Where is Fizzy? There he is. Timmy up the inside. He passes the Alfa Romeo driver and moves back up into 4th position. Or does he? No, he's gone wide. He's gone wide. That's going to let Fizzy there. And Timmy's gone well off the track there. I wonder if he got distracted by Fizzy there and got himself on the track there. And he's done also a poor final corner as well there. Timmy having a bit of a scrap after he got the part stunt, and then just got a bit too deep in there, and unfortunately just got a bit scrappy there, didn't it? Roscoe there once again. They're still just really just and Asdog there is on the he's kept to the racing line. Brown there trying to defend there, but didn't. But unfortunately, Asdog's pace is just too great at this stage of the race, and he is through now to 11th position. 4.2 seconds to go. The sun is now really starting to beat down on the track there. It's absolutely a beautiful day here in Shanghai, and as we said in the build-up, don't really say that too often, do we? There's 2 Haas there in the background, in the foreground. That is Double and Woody. They're battling away, and Woody is now with the 9th position. And Woody's had a bit of a quiet race today, hasn't he? But he's going to get some. Well, at the moment he's in the box to get some points then. Asdog is at 4 seconds away from points then, so let's see what Asdog can do from here. I think that is doable, because Double's done 11 laps on the medium compound tyres, whilst Asdog's done 4 laps. I think Double needs to go in the back in the pits. I'm sure he does, because he's done. I think he's only used the medium compound tyres. You have to use 2 types of compounds around here. Well, around any race, I should say, not just around here. But yeah, you have to use 2 types of compounds, and I think Double's only used 2 medium tyres. Unless I'm speaking absolute rubbish, which is almost certainly likely. And Double is just running his own race and is absolutely happy in 10th position. I'm sure he needs to go in the pits though. But yeah. Anyway, and back at the front, and the gap is now up to 1.4 seconds. I think T Sammy there. It was just I think T Sammy's all of a sudden started to push again, hasn't he? Try and take it like a rocket to see if we can get that fastest lap back possibly. At the moment, Harry is not in the point, so he's not going to get a fastest lap. So there will be no bonus point here tonight, which is I think that's a bit of a pride, isn't it, for Harry? Isn't he? He's stolen the fast lap away from the top runners. Brown there is still in DRS actually, so Brown doing a good job to hang on to Asdog. I wonder if Brown is going to see if he can just tag along with Asdog and perhaps maybe even steal a point or 2 from the Haas team, from the Haas drivers. The Haas drivers are definitely in with a shout of losing out. Double is in the pits, so Double is coming in the pits, and I wonder if he's going to throw on a set of soft tires as well. So Double will also be on the similar strategy to Harry now, and I wonder if he can sneak back in the points then, but I think he might have left it a bit too late, Double has. But we'll find out. There's still 5 laps to go around here. This remember that this track can be a bit of a tire eater. In the 2012 race, remember Kimi Räikkönen was second, and then he just dropped like a stone, didn't he? There's a lot of tires just fell off the cliff around here, so potentially that could happen here tonight then. Some guys might just run out of tires towards the end. I think Hogg might be starting to run out of tires towards the end there as well. He's done a mammoth 17 laps on those hard tires. That's incredible as well. Big shout out, well, both and also big shout for both Williams there. Sorry, I was reading that wrong. And PB also 15 laps as well on the hard tires as well. Really good stuff there from both drivers actually. That's fantastic. Oh, and Timmy is through and up into 4th position now. Has he done it? Fizzy there is just going back up and under there. And once again, Timmy does have the inside line going into turn 16 then. Let's see, and Timmy does have it. Fizzy there will have DRS there. He's on a much better exit there, hasn't he? And now Timmy there is getting over. Fizzy there is just sneaking his nose on the inside. Timmy just getting a car with Fizzy didn't need any more of an invitation. He is back through and up into 4th position there. This is incredible. Oh, Timmy is going back on the inside. He is he? No, because Fizzy does have the outside there. Positions the car beautifully well there. And oh, but Timmy, oh my goodness me, they have done a little kiss there. Now as Timmy is up in the 4th position. No, Fizzy has the inside, going down into 6th then. Brilliant stuff there. Fizzy there, is he going to run around the road? That's very fair driving there. And Timmy is on his way, is he? He is on his way then, and up into 4th position there. Fizzy, can he stick with Timmy? The gap is now down to 9 tenths a second in the front. Then the gap, the battle at the front has been absolutely enthralling, hasn't it? It's got a bit of cloud cover overhead. Then we come into the twilight stages of the Chinese Grand Prix. 7 tenths of a second, and yeah, I think T Sammy might be starting to get a bit nervous as Steve is now really starting to pick up his pace. And I wonder if Steve and Roscoe was actually, as much as they was battling well, I wonder if they was also thinking about looking after those tyres. I wonder if T Sammy might have took too much tyre life out of it. We'll wait and see. On board then with Fizzy, then he's 5 tenths of a second back. Then that's a big margin, isn't it? Is he going to have a look though? Of course, he's having a fantastic race. He's 15 seconds in front of Dave, who is in 6th position with Matt in 7th. Oh, Timmy's gone wide there. He's really struggling with that turn today, isn't he? And this is going to definitely make Fizzy very interested going in. Oh, he's on the outside. That's incredible stuff. He didn't even need turn 1. He didn't even need DRS. And Fizzy is up in the 4th position. Timmy is going to go back on the inside. Fizzy gives him just enough space. Timmy is back on the inside. He is back. No, yet, because now Fizzy has just gone up and under. Cool, as you like, from Fizzy. He is back up in the 4th position. Timmy has dropped down 5th. No, boy, he's gonna try and go on the inside. Oh, not quite, as Fizzy is on his way. Well, for the minute anyway, these guys are putting on the clinic in wrestling. Oh, clinic in racing, I should say. Well, I don't know where that came from. I think I'm just looking forward to Sunday. Anyway, enough about that. We're on board with Timmy in 5th position then. And he is at 4 tenths of a second back now. But the 5 tenths of a second is the battle at the front. It's 5 tenths between Steve and T Sammy. It's 5 tenths between Roscoe and Steve as well. This is incredible racing up and down the field. 4 tenths of a second between Azdog and Woody as well. Let's take a look. There they are. T Sammy there. I wonder if these cool conditions is really paying havoc to T Sammy's strategy perhaps. To his setup perhaps. We're on board then with the DRS. He's in DRS and he's pushed that button. He has DRS. He's a bit too far back. Roscoe's closer though. They break him down into the hairpin now then. And T Sammy there is under almighty pressure out there, isn't he? So he's going to be, he's definitely going to be feeling the heat now, isn't he? As they come into lap 27 out of 28. This is going to be a grandstand finish here in China. Then. I was looking at the sun is gone then. The sun is gone as we come into the final stage of this Chinese Grand Prix. Is Steve going to go for it? Is he going to go for it? Remember, racer point, I haven't scored a point yet in this race. He's a racer, is he? Is he going to go for it? As Woody and Azdog have swapped positions. Azdog up to 9th position. Woody down into 10th position. Harry is also down all over the back of Woody, all about a hog as well. Timmy and Fizzy just seem to can't leave each other alone at the moment. They've battled away. They've lost 8.5 seconds out of the gap. So the gap at the front, and these guys that are battling then are 8 seconds in front of Fizzy and Timmy, who've been also with these Gagger cars in the first. And it's been an incredible race, hasn't it? Brilliant stuff up and down the field. They're back on board then. A lovely side pod shot here of the racing point then. Steve there is this is 5 tenths of a second of the gap at the moment. Roscoe has dropped back a bit. I wonder if Roscoe is just going to sit back and watch the fireworks perhaps. Steve, I'm wondering then Steve might be a bit tempted to have a go. He's got to stick with me. See, look at this. Look at the understeer there on this bank curve. But he's doing it. Oh, that's 3 tenths of a second. I think he's in range. T Sammy is going for a third race win in a row. Steve would love to win his first race of the season. Then you can see T Sammy's got a very quick car in a straight line. I wonder if Steve, he's out of luck though. Not quite. And look at how much he gains though on T Sammy. T Sammy's got a very quick car in a straight line, I must say. It's going very. I think that Steve's going to have an almighty run. Oh, I was going out of the turn 13, or maybe even out of turn 16. This is the final chance. This is the final lap of the Super Chinese Grand Prix, and I thought he was going to go have a good old lunch. Look at this. He's pushing it through turn 1 then, and see there. He's got to be careful because Roscoe would love to make it a Toro Rosso 1-2. But we just get a bit of a love tap there again. There they are. There's no damage. I gotta say, this has been impressive racing, hasn't it? It's been absolutely phenomenal. Timmy and Fizzy are very close together as well. It's a 10th of a second gap. I think there was almost side by side going down to turn 1. But at the moment, Fizzy's done a great job of keeping Timmy back, because Timmy's been all over Fizzy's gearbox, especially in the second half of the race. Brilliant racing, brilliant stuff indeed then. We've only had one retirement in this race. Absolutely brilliant racing there. There's a 5-second penalty for PB there for exceeding track limits there. So I think that was a bit of a wild old excursion there. T Sammy at the moment then is got the advantage there. Whoa! Oh, look at this! Look at this! And TV has just snuck up and under there. He is through. I think he's caught me by surprise there, hasn't he? He didn't need the DR. Said, I wonder if Fizzy's going to have a look. Then he's gone very dull over it. I'm not sure. Don't think there's going to be, if there is rain, ain't going to affect anyone now. And Steve there is dropped back to 6-7 seconds. He's got to be concerned about Roscoe. He's got to be concerned about the other Toro Rosso driver. Right, defended for all his worth. Roscoe is going to go on the outside. Where's Steve? There is Steve. Steve runs him out wide. And he is stayed in second position there. Fizzy is also gaining as well. Is Fizzy going to have a lunge? I don't think he is. Roscoe's got a 3-second penalty. T Sammy wins the Chinese Grand Prix. Brilliant stuff there from T Sammy. Steve in second position there. Roscoe getting a 3-second penalty. It was all or none for Roscoe. He got third in the end. Timmy just about won the battle between himself and Fizzy. Absolutely stunning stuff. Oh, Dave's got a 5-second penalty. That's a bit of a brutal penalty, isn't it? Is that going to cost him? That might cost him 7th position, 6th position. To Matt then is Dave coming through to finish in 6th position. I think he'll be happy that he wasn't looking forward to this race. A 5-second penalty, but Matt moves up to 6th, and that 5-second penalty right at the death there really hurt Dave, didn't it? Cost him points there. Sprinted 8th position. Asdog, a good recovery, driving 9th position. So Racing Point gets their first point of the season. What's going on here? It's Hog and Harry there battling away. Brown in 11th position, and Hog there has got 12th position, and he's got a 3-second penalty, which I think Harry might actually move up to no, he doesn't. Harry's also got a penalty as well, and Double moves up to 13th in the end in the Haas, and PB coming through to finish 14th position, and Snap was the final runner in that 16th position. JJ the owner retirement then. That is incredible stuff, and we've got Debris flying all over the show now as the AI can't drive, so I think these guys might need to take over from the AI. Fantastic racing. T Sammy 3 out of 3. This man is a machine at the moment, an absolute machine, and wow. He absolutely repelled the attacker Steve there, didn't he? Steve there in second position in the end with Roscoe in third. So Toro Rosso once again a 1-3. I got to say the Toro Rosso team is looking absolutely strong for the constructors, aren't they? That is a phenomenal team. T Sammy and Roscoe, brilliant stuff indeed. Steve really, Steve getting his first points of the season as well, and he's going to be jumping right up in the championship. I'm going to need a lie down after that. Oh. Absolutely incredible stuff. The top 5 put on everyone put on an incredible show tonight, really did. Top 5 brilliant stuff, really was. So let's just take a look at the final classification, shall we, from the Chinese Grand Prix. Look at the lack of penalties there. Absolutely pristine driving. I think that's the word of the night, isn't it? So in the end there, T Sammy 3 for 3, and getting a brilliant win, wasn't it? Didn't he? Steve second in the end, and an absolutely incredible fight there, wasn't he, between himself and Roscoe. Well, and all the other drivers, Timmy and Fizzy as well. Roscoe finished third in the end. Then he got 3-second penalty right at the end there, where he was just trying to do something, trying to get second position. Timmy in fourth position, Roscoe 5th, Matt 6th, Dave 7th, Sprint 8th, Asdog 9th, and 10th position is Woody. Brown, Hog, Double, Harry, PB, and Snap all finished the race but didn't get any points. And JJ was the only retirement from this incredible Chinese Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then, well, that's the Chinese Grand Prix wrap. That's the Chinese Grand Prix event that's been wrapped up this week. Brilliant racing for both the elite and from the super boys. Really well done. I've got to say it's been an absolutely phenomenal race, hasn't it, from all guys out there. And of course, next week we'll be Street Fighters. We'll be fighting in Azerbaijan, Baku, and that is going to be a feisty affair, isn't it? Of course, Baku, it's one of the most difficult tracks on the calendar. You need to be you need to be really really concentrated, and also a very skilled driver. And we've seen accidents galore there, haven't we? We've seen incidents, of course. Remember last season with Are You Racing and Harry? That stands out, doesn't it? Right then, as so that'll be next week. Then, of course, the elite guys will be racing at 7:30 on Wednesday night. Thursday night, the super guys will return at 8 p.m. normal time, and of course, the standings for both super and elite. Well, the elite's already up, but the super standings will also be up later on tonight. Then on Facebook. Thank you all for joining us tonight. It's been an absolutely incredible race as always from IRC, and we'll see you next week in Baku. But for now, it's goodbye.